Okay, cool. Let's try that again. And what is up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. I'm Brea Thorn. How the heck you doing tonight? I hope you're doing well. Was that better? It's always something. No, it's because I have to, because I'm doing this thing from Mel to OBS to do the double thing, I've got to mute a certain thing and I didn't unmute it. But whatever, we're here. Fine. You know what? The best thing I'm going to tell you right now, for those of you who want to stream, the best thing to do after you've been doing it for a while is start every stream with a nice ego check. That's the way to do it. Some of y'all couldn't hear me. It was YouTube that couldn't hear me. Twitch could hear me. Right? Is that right? Yep, it was YouTube that couldn't hear me. That's good, because those VODs are the VODs that I hope to stay up forever, and they do stay up forever. Enjoy, YouTube. All right. Yeah. No, it's basically in order. I'm not even gonna get into it. But what's up, everybody? Tell me how you're doing. Tell me how it's going. I hope we have some PCs to build tonight. I do have some homework I got to do. I have to settle on something like ASAP, but start every stream muted just because. Yeah. So let's say hi real quick over in Twitch land to these people over here. Dodger Dog, what's going on? Welcome. I don't know that it's peanut butter jelly time, but it is PC and ranting time. Bergie5, welcome. Alucard, how's it going? Observer of Thoughts, how you doing? Peter, welcome. T. Peterloff, welcome in. Bone Shock, what is up? And Observer of Thoughts, I do know you are in both streams. Thank you for watching both streams. At least keeping one tab muted. I appreciate that. Did you just try to tag yourself? It's going well. Alucard, yeah, no. He was glowing like Jesus. Do I glow like Jesus when I do this? It's just that I'm moving very fast, supposedly. Maybe. Triple B, what's going on? How are you? Learn to read lips, YouTube. No. If people watch videos because they don't feel like reading. All right. Time yourself out. All right, Peter. We'll see you back here in a bit. You got it. Why do they have to put timeout right next to ban? That I always scare myself with that. Now over in YouTube land, what's going on? John Paul Bacon, welcome in. Steve, how you doing? From over there across the pond. Sailor X, how's it going? Adam Williams is ready to lurk. Happy to hear it. Thank you for the lurk ahead of time. Sorry you can't do it at XX speed. You just came in too early. Sailor got Gigabyte 5060 Ti, 16 gig on order. Very cool. 449. Okay. Yeah, that thing, I mean, I remember we were doing a build and I ended up going with that card and someone was like, isn't that a bad card? I'm like, go look at the charts again. Ignore what they're saying. Look at the charts. It's fine. Yeah. John Paul Bacon doing good even in this 84-degree Fahrenheit in Washington State. My heart weeps for you. Check temperatures in Texas. Whenever you're feeling like, oh, it's a little hot outside, check Texas temperatures. Just go ahead. Scored Arc B580 for 250 off Newegg. Nice, Adam. Nice. Still a great card. A little hard to get, but great card. Never got one. Never got one myself. And no Alucard. I don't want to borrow one, but thank you. I always appreciate that you offer that, and I never accept it, and I apologize for that. But it's one like it's more tech to keep track of right now. And I don't want to be responsible for your property. You know what I mean? Like that's just like with everything that I'm juggling here, trying to get going. You know what I mean? Toxic Zaz. I appreciate the no audio heads up. Same thing with Adam. And Steve. It's not 2020 all over again. This is every year for me, okay? And Robert, happy to see you, bud. What's going on? Okay. T. Peterloff is over in YouTube as well. I could time you out in both, I guess, if that's what you wanted. Dragonfire, what's going on? Thanks for the advice on the builds. Picked my son's computer up from Micro Center this past Sunday. Got lucky and was able to get a few parts as open box and saved almost $300. Good Lord, that's a lot of money. Good job on the open box stuff. And let me know what your son thinks about the PC. Alice, welcome in. Glad to have you here. Alucard moved over from Twitch or is on both, looks like. I just double checked because it's become a habit since I used to mod. Fair enough. Well, that's what our mod is doing here. Lycos 45, how you doing? Welcome in on both. Yep, that's what I was getting at. You're on both of those, and I definitely appreciate that. Let me get this appropriately spaced here, and bam, and that should do that right there. Getting all my windows up here. That's not the right account. There we go. Get the form up, get the spreadsheet up, and we're good to go. You think I'm doing all this to get started at a record pace here, but I want to kind of remind myself what we set up for Dragonfire there. I can't because it was a Micro Center build, and that'll no longer be there. We have to... Wait a minute. Okay, so we have two people who joined the list at... Oh, that didn't come out as a link, did it? I don't know why. Two people who joined the list late in the stream, or one who joined early in the stream last Thursday, but then was nowhere to be found. That's Paulwix. And then we had someone join at the very, very end, right when I was about to raid over on the Twitch side of things. But yeah, Bergie5 says, I'm on both too. Thank you. I am on both too. Yes, thank you. Bergie, I don't see another Bergie5. You must be there under a different name. Oh, Eric Bergman. There you are. Welcome. Glad to have you on both. What's a good price range, says Toxic Zaz, for a first-timer PC? Want to play in 1440p? Toxic Zaz, I urge you to take a look at the YouTube description there. What I'm looking at right now, what you hear me referencing when I'm talking about people who are on the list is, well, it's the list. And this is where your information goes when you fill out our Google form that will then get you on the list here. And then I have all the information, most of the information I need. I'll still have a couple of minor questions, but this is most of the info I need. Because you can't really ask someone to recommend stuff if you don't give a budget. I know you're asking, the budget is what you're asking for, but you should go into it knowing what your budget can be, is what I'm saying. I can't tell you what to spend. You need to know what you're able to spend, and then I can actually work from that. Our family used to live in Las Vegas. Summers got over 110 F most of the time. Wasn't very good from a young... Oh, yeah, that'll do it. I will say, though, humidity levels change everything. The humidity here. Oh, man. Because your sweat can't evaporate, which is what the body uses to cool itself. To regulate temperature is the evaporation. Temperature management through evaporation is used in a lot of technologies too, but also the human technology, our bodies. And if you can't sweat, well, Adam Williams says, suggest Intel Arc B570 or B580 for 1440p. Are you telling me to do? I mean, I could do that, but only if it's needed, and also it's not always available. And a lot of SIs don't use them. And there's a reason for that. Though they are great cards, for the entry-level buyer, there can be sometimes a little bit too much fiddling that you have to do with it, drivers, things like that. From what I've watched in reviews and things like that. Like I said, I've never gotten one in to test it myself. But for a brand new user, I'll usually push them towards the more mainstream stuff. But there are a lot of enthusiasts who have jumped on those, and I like to see that because we need that competition. Alucard, I know you're in both chats, but you don't need to type in both chats. I mean, not the same thing. You can type in both chats. Is what that's totally cool, and I like that. But I mean, you don't have to put the same thing in both. I do wish the font was a little larger up there. I can change that right now. We seem to have some thunderstorms going on. If the stream cuts out because my internet drops, it's act of God. I'm not meant to stream tonight. Just a heads up. That was really close. That was really loud. I don't know if y'all heard it. I doubt it, but yeah. Let's see. Overlays. Is this the one? No. Is this the one? Yes. Now, what's going to happen is all the chat up there is going to disappear and repopulate as people keep talking. We will go up to 17, from 15 to 17. And we'll see how that looks once people start talking again. Talk, people! Talk to me! Thunderstorms have been rampant here for me. Yeah, they're going. They're going for sure. Cecil Ree says, hit the like button. I don't disagree with Cecil Ree. Michelle Milton, welcome. What's going on? You seen the new JF15K 4-fan air cooler? Yes, I did. Yeah. $40, I think. But I don't think it's available in the US. That's not gonna be available in the US. Not right now. We're having bad storms here in Georgia too. Yeah, we were out at getting some stuff for the chickens, and we got hit with the storm, so we got a tiny, but it actually came really fast and rained a lot and then slowed down quite a bit. So by the time we made it out of the store, it had really died down quite a bit. So yeah, I'm in Texas, not available yet, but when that comes out in the US, they'll sell quite nicely, I think. I hope so. Right now, Thermal Take is running away with the market. They're running away with it. Their reputation at this point is very, very good. Their pricing, unless you buy it at Micro Center, is very good. Micro Center seems to think people will pay $60 for a Thermal Right. Did I say Thermal Take? I meant Thermal Right. Micro Center thinks that people want to pay $60 for a $30 Thermal Right cooler, and that bothers me. But yeah, I'm eating Thermal Right. Yes. You say you have chickens, Bray? We do. We have 3 chickens. I talked about it a while back when we first got them, but they're out there in their coop and enclosure now. They're very, very happy. Maybe not super happy with the storm, but it's nighttime. They're all cooped up right now. Peter, welcome back. Oh, okay. That's fine. Yeah, the Phantom Spirit 120 SE is only $36 on Amazon. Yeah, or Chaos, it's like $60 at Micro Center. So people are going to see that and be like, well, I guess this is one of the more expensive ones. No. It's fun showing the Amazon page of the $30 cooler to the staff for them to price match. You could do that, actually. Never mind. Go ahead and go buy it, but make sure you price match. Appreciate that, John Paul. I hope everyone is safe. Yeah, absolutely. But yes, Michelle, my girlfriend, she grew up in the Texas country raising chickens, and she's wanted them for years and years. And one of the reasons I liked this house when we moved into it was a big backyard, and we're renting, and the owner is like, yeah, I used to have chickens here, so yeah, you can have chickens here. I'm like, nice. So I asked that behind my partner's back. I asked, hey, could we have chickens here? And he was like, yeah, I love chickens. You gonna give me some eggs? I'm like, yeah. So she has to just give up some chicken eggs. But yeah, and they're very cute and a little scary. I grew up with our family having conures, which are basically, think of a parrot and then shrink it down and also make it very cute. And that's a conure. And we grew up with those. So I'm not used to living with giant birds. These things got big. Will eggs help lower the cost of rent? No, but they allow us to have chickens. No, he didn't. It's not like it was an ultimatum. Yeah, let's go. Just got upgraded on my train to Boston. Nice. Always nice to get upgraded. I figured that's what you meant, Bergie. You good? We live near a shopping center with a grocery store, and next to it is a house that had chickens. You'd see chickens in the parking lot randomly. Oh, ours are well enclosed. Like, we got a big fenced enclosure thing for them that I built, with tarp over it and stuff for the rain and everything. And also there are 2 coops in there. We were supposed to have 4 chickens. One turned out to be a rooster, despite how they were labeled. One turned out to be a rooster, and we had to give him away. But yeah. Alucard referencing one of the greatest songs of all time. Drop hit Murphy's over there. Lone Vaquero, what's going on? How's it going? Talk about fresh chicken. Yeah. 12-hour economy trains now. 6-hour business class express. Ooh, that's a big upgrade. This song is so short, though. Hey, it does what it does what it came to do. You know what I mean? It's all right. I got some boom. Some boom? What is that? For the 4th. Oh, fireworks. Okay, yeah. Be careful, please. Everybody stay safe. Chicks are the next thing I want. We got the fenced-in area ready to go. You're also promised our kiddo a giant Flemish rabbit this year. No, I didn't. I didn't promise your kid. I don't know your family. I'm sorry. I mean, hi, family. Well, how's it going? But I didn't do that. I'm sure you meant we. Right, for the 4th. I figured, yeah. At least I'm not on a red-eye train. Some of those, I mean, I've never really done a long train trip. Fingers are overrated. I don't agree. I think they're just rated, like they're normal. Like, people are like, hey, glad I have these. And for those who don't, they're like, yeah, I don't think those are overrated. I'm not sure what you meant. The chicken thing, maybe? Man, Twitch is so big. Twitch has gotten more aggressive with... I have a thing where I was able to very minorly control the scheduling of my ads. Just like I tried to make it more spaced out as possible. I don't think it's paying attention to that anymore. Like, ad breaks come in really fast now. They are toes for your hands. No fireworks. Got you. Yes, lol, yes, we promised. All right. If the rabbit gets too big, get the holy hand grenade. I don't think that bunny was all that gigantic in the movie, but yeah. I don't know if I already said hi, Zintech. I think I did, but hi. I did a train from Chicago to San Francisco. It's 56 hours. At least you have more room on a train than you do in a plane. I was attacked by a chicken when I was 2 years old. Sailor, that sucks. Chickens, they have claws and big beaks. And well, not big beaks, but sharp beaks. And I don't think that people really think about that. Adam says, we want ads. Well, Adam, I don't think I can manually give an ad on YouTube. Can I? Hi, YouTube. One of my viewers there wants an ad. I'm looking. Oh, hey, I can. All right. Well, YouTube, do you guys want to see an ad insert? Do you guys want to see an ad? I do have a button for that, apparently. Adam seems to want an ad. Why don't we play a game? I'll play it, and you guys tell me what ad you got. And it's going to tell us a little something about you as a viewer, because it's supposed to be... Peter says yes. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. In solidarity, when the Twitch ad plays, or I can play it now, I'll also play it on YouTube. If you have YouTube Premium, you won't see it. Very true. If you're a member, I don't know if you'll see it. I don't think so. That's one thing about Twitch. If you're subscribed on Twitch, or if you have Twitch Turbo, you don't see the ads. So I just sound like a crazy person. It would suck more than an automobile after a plane and a train. Again with the movie references. Classic, though. Planes, trains, and automobiles, for those who didn't catch that. Power spec, I did think about that while I was talking about planes and trains. Power spec G911 looks insane with the specs with it. You can do a lot with that pre-built system. What brought that up? Oh, it looks like Toxic Zaz filled out the form. Very cool. That was 8 minutes ago that was submitted. Toxic, I was not looking. I'm sorry. So just, I guess, Avenue search engine cuts them out. I don't think I'll see it go on. Steve, I don't make a lot of money off of ads, but I would suggest not talking about ad blockers on YouTube. I don't know if they're going to come after you, but they might. Google has been coming after ad blockers very, very strongly. So, sorry, it caught my eyes and was like, wowie. Well, we'll take a look at it maybe after we help out Toxic. One of my coworkers was talking about some movies with me earlier today. Just can't help it. That's okay. I got a movie brain too. Start promoting codes for them. I'm sure I knew what you were talking about when you first put that. I'm not sure what it was. 24 by 5 foot, 24 by 5 mortar pack, Excalibur Platinum, 500G cake, hit the road, Jack, a screwball fountain, 2 killer bee fountains, 2 packs of Roman candle. Oh, you're talking about fireworks. I was like, what do you mean? Okay, very cool. Very cool. Premium family plan here, worth every penny. Absolutely. It's not an ad blocker. If it keeps you from seeing ads, then yeah. Unless, isn't there something where like it'll just like make you not see it? I don't know, whatever. You still miss part of the show, I guess, but whatever. C from Gamers actually did a whole thing on YouTube ads earlier today, and he had to start by saying he was not promoting ad blockers because that's how you get pulled from YouTube. That gets you pulled from YouTube, yeah. The great 96er. Okay. Ad starts in 9 seconds over on Twitch. If you're subscribed, you don't see them. So I'll be starting the ad for YouTube since it was requested in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So for those of you who can still see me, hi. How are you? I feel like the text didn't get that much bigger, but it got a little bit bigger. Like it's coming off of the black background a tiny bit if it's spaced out a certain way. You're fine? Excellent. Good. Sorry, Peter. I know you actually shouted in all caps that you wanted an ad. I'm sorry that I was not able to help you. I was pecked and scratched up pretty bad. Have hated chickens ever since. Sailor, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. That was not a safe situation for you, I suppose. And whoever had those chickens should have done something about that. I'm sorry to hear that. Vaquero's rocking out over there. That's cool. I'm good. I'm good. We're going to be helping out Toxic Zaz here in a minute. And it looks like we're doing a pre-built. And they don't... wow, actually not a Micro Center one. Guys, every person I helped on Thursday was Micro Center. It was crazy. Crazy. Hi, Steve. Hi, Alice. Hi, Alucard. Now I got an ad. There it is. So it's an NSFC situation. Not safe for children / chickens. Well, I think I would put that the other way because apparently the chicken / children in this situation. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's not funny. That is not funny. It's just, you know, stream of consciousness stuff. Bray, scroll up here. Got a recommend for 4th July. Also, great Beach Boys song name, 4th of July. What's the recommend, Steve? I see you. Auto insurance ad says Clone Smurf. What's up, Clone Smurf? I don't know if you heard me say that. The emotes are showing up as their names for me. I'm going to restart Twitch. All right, we'll be here. Angry Beaver, what's up? Okay, so I don't know if y'all are back. You should be by now. So Clone Smurf got an auto insurance ad. Zintech got an ad for something about homeowners and McDonald's. Lol, I don't even eat McDonald's. That's why they're trying to get you, Zintech. Or Chaos. I turned off targeted ads, so I got Taco Bell. Needs a Charmin commercial to follow it up. I had Taco Bell tonight. It's fine. You just got to order the right stuff. Since we're gone, I'm out of the loop. Did you say when your next build stream is going to be? Well, not a build stream, but I have an unboxing stream. And guys, I do have some news on that front while we're waiting for me to hear from Toxic Zaz. YT Toxic Zaz. You do need to sound off and let me know you're still here. Yo, okay, hold up. Real quick, because Lone Vaquero 684 just subscribed at tier 1. Let's go, nerds. Thank you for the support. Welcome back to the Swarm. So here's the thing. Asus sent me the G700 pre-built. I have not unboxed it yet because I injured my arms early last week. I couldn't lift anything. I could barely lift anything. But here's the thing. It came in and the box was pretty well damaged. So I talked to them about it and they were like, hey, how about you review this other PC instead? So I might have to send that one back, but they've already sent the other PC. So we have one to unbox, maybe two. It's in chat, Bray. There you go. Copy and paste. Steve, if you posted a link, it will not show it. You might see it in chat, but we do not. Glad you see your emotes now. Also, the stream reprompted me for the sub streak thing. Yeah, it'll do that. It'll do that when you reload. Let's see. McDonald's makes more money on their commercial real estate. Oh, yeah, they're a real estate company, is what it is. Their franchisees pay them, pay the rent, and they own the property that all the franchise restaurants are on. Yes. So yeah, every franchised McDonald's is on land. Like the franchisee might own the restaurant and pay franchise fees to McDonald's, but McDonald's owns the land, and the restaurant franchisee will pay the rent for that because they have to have land. So McDonald's is like, a very long time ago, apparently Ray Kroc was like, hey, we should get into commercial real estate, and we just own the land that these restaurants are on, and they'll be paying us because they're going to be paying somebody for it. Sounds like somebody watched the Mick movie. Erasable, I had actually heard that before the movie with Michael Keaton and all that, but that reiterated it for me. So, yeah. Their ad page, high performance gaming up to DDR5 4800 memory. Who are we talking about, or Chaos? Yeah, I don't know. The G700. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, we're going to go over all that stuff. Whichever one we end up unboxing. I don't know. It's not a link I typed. It's there. All you did was type at SailorX, at Sailor.x. Oh, scroll up. Scroll up. Steve. When did you say something to do for? I might have scrolled too far. No, I have a new search engine, custom out. I don't think I'll see it go on. It's not an ad blocker. Bray, scroll up here. I gotta recommend for 4th of July. Also, great Beach Boys song name, 4th of July. Yeah, I don't see a paragraph from you. If you typed anything beyond the character limit, it will not show it in chat. So break it up into 2 chats. If you can see it, you can copy paste it. Just break it up into 2 separate chats. Okay. Don't know what to tell you. I want this to work for you, Steve. I really want this to work. It ain't doing that yet. Don't know why. Okay. It was interesting learning that from food theory. I then shared that info to some CRE people from my work. I work in a real estate mortgage bank in IT. Did not know that, actually. YT Toxic Zaz. I understand that you filled out the form, but you need to be here for me to help you. And you haven't said anything yet since you did the form. At YT, it says you're still here. You got to say something. I haven't seen you say anything since I asked you to fill out the form. For the 4th, you see this? Oban Fireworks 2011. Okay, I can see that. I don't know what that is. Boosteroid or GFN? What? Lone Vaquero, what are we polling again? Should I know what that is? Oh, GeForce Now. Because I didn't... Yeah, just spell it out. You can just spell that out. I don't think anybody calls it GFN. It's literally the same amount of syllables if you just say GeForce Now. So I think everybody just says GeForce Now. But spelling it, a lot easier with GFN. I get that. I'm talking and you're typing. That's a different experience. It went perfectly. One small hitch. They all went off at once, lasting 30 seconds. Oh, that's... Oh, I've heard of that. I have heard of that. I might have seen that too. Okay. Okay, so Toxic Zaz is here. Very cool. All right, cool. Now, I'm going to tell you ahead of time, Toxic. This is a conversation back and forth. If you're like on mobile, it might take you a little time to respond to stuff. Just keep your responses as concise as possible, and I'll be asking you some additional follow-up questions as we go. Okay, so you're looking to do gaming, pro gaming / esports, streaming, and racing sim / flight sim at 1440p. You chose the budget range of $1,000 to $1,500. I need to know, that helps. That's how the form works. But now I need to know what your actual max budget number is. The maximum number of money dollars you are willing to spend on just the PC, not the monitor, keyboard, mouse, none of that stuff. No taxes, no shipping. Just the price like that we would see on a website. So what would that be? Is it like $1,450? Is it like $1,200? I need to know that. Yeah, I don't know if anybody knows what Boosteroid is, but I only say that because I didn't know what it is. So of course I think no one does. So yeah, just give me a solid number, Toxic, not a range. So if it's like $1,250, if it's $1,400, if it's actually $1,500, just let me know what the maximum amount of money you would spend on the PC itself would be before taxes and shipping. Yeah. Nope. Okay. So $1,450. Got it. I wasn't looking for a range, like I said, just the number. The range here is just for my charts that I get from these forms. So $1,450. All right. Now, you want to do gaming, pro gaming / esports. So that means we can't just put everything into GPU, except that you are looking at 1440p, where the CPU is a little bit less important. But you also want to do streaming. That means investing some money into other aspects of the build, like a little bit more, like more RAM and more IO on the motherboard, if we can choose that. If not, you can always add in a USB add-in card to have more USB to plug in all your stream decks and your capture cards and all the things. 1450 max, perfect. Anyone excited? What's up, Frowler? Anyone excited for the RTX 5050? I'm not sure if I am. Hi, Braythorn. I'm not actually, but what's up? What I'm excited for is actually the super cards that have been leaked. 5070 Ti are both gonna have supers. 5080 is gonna have a super, and it's looking a lot like it. Like the VRAM is insane. Like they're going with 24 gigs of VRAM on the 5080 and 5070 Ti super, and they're going 18 gigs of VRAM potentially on the 5070 super, which is bananas. And also, that's the one that actually gets a big boost in CUDA cores. So probably just like the 4070 and 4070 Super had the biggest performance increase, right? The 4070 Super had the biggest performance increase from its predecessor versus, or its non-super variant versus 4070 Ti and 4070 Ti Super and 4080 and 4080 Super. Those kind of stayed where they were. 4080 Super went down a little bit in price, and that's what it was really for. 4070 Ti Super got a boost in performance, but not as big as the 4070 Super. That got a big boost. Looks like that's happening with the 5070, and supposedly, potentially 18 gigs of VRAM on that card. Pretty crazy. Like, to think someone could spend, like, do y'all think that the 5070 Super should be cheaper than the 5070 Ti? Well, it's going to have more VRAM. Nobody asked for that. We said just do 16. Why'd you do 12? 5070 Super for 18 gigs thanks to the 3 gig modules will be a huge performance jump. 5080 Super with 24 gigs should be nice. I think the 5070 Ti Super with 24 gigs should be the way to go. That's going to be awesome. I would want an AMD GPU preferably with a Ryzen CPU. Well, we'll get to that. I'm just... yeah, let's see. So I'm thinking to keep this simple, we could do Skytech probably, or another, because we're trying to get 1450 and you're trying to do 1440p with streaming. That's a little tough, but let's see what we can find over at Skytech to sort of max out on the price to performance, which is what you chose right here, price to performance. I don't want to take up all the chat, but it's so strange the U.S. puts prices up pre-tax. It doesn't happen here, so it's odd to us. I will admit I probably don't understand how it works in the U.S. That's just what they do. That is just what they do. Yeah, the 5070 Super is going to be probably the next... like, I've been saying the 5070 Ti has been sort of the best card out of the range, if you can get it for a decent price, which you can't, so, oh well... But the 5070 Super is probably going to be the next GOAT, just like the 4070 Super was. I've seen a Skytech 5070 system for around that price, unless you want to drop them to a 5060 Ti 16 gig. For 1440p esports, potentially, I would want to have a little bit more in the GPU if possible. But let's see what we've got. So let's say we're not. You can't do a 9800X 3D. That is an entire third of the whole budget. So no, cannot do that. For anyone who was thinking that, let's go with the GPU. We'll say AMD is what you want. So let's try for. They don't have any other AMD. Radeon 9070. No 9070, not XT. Really, there's one where they just didn't put the space. So it has its own category. Great job, guys. I don't think this is going to match at all. I don't think it's going to work at all. Yeah, it's going to be too... Oh, I got to put price low to high. Oops, that resets everything else. Oops. Michelle says, NVIDIA has been so disappointing. The secondary launch is just so irritating that I can't even get excited for it. I mean, they've done this before. Yeah, but they're what people tend to know of more than anything related to PCs. Yeah. Asus Prime 5050 on Norwegian website is priced $400 US. Oh, God. That's a good point, Clone Smurf. Each state has its own tax rate. So there you go. Don't bully Jeff, please. Okay, so the closest we have right off the bat is going to be $16.99, and there's multiple options for that. But it's not $14.50. In fact, it is $250 more than that before my discount, and my discount won't get it low enough. So no 9070 XT. And there's no 9070. That's unfortunate. So the only option is, well, we could do 7800 XT. There's one system with it. The Blaze 4 Mini is $1589.99 with a 9600X and a 7800 XT. Chat, I don't know if I would do this for a streaming system, though. 6 cores, 12 threads. I mean, I suppose it could do it. I will stop when he fixes that. I guess he doesn't know about it yet. Robert says 30 watchers, 13 likes. Thank you for pointing that out, Robert. Appreciate it. 5050 Ti Super with 24 gigs of RAM. What's the point? Well, they didn't announce it, so I'm guessing they're not doing it. Yeah, it just needs two. I think the 2 extra cores would make a difference for me on the streaming side of things, but it's at least upgradable. Here's the problem. They're not interested in upgrading the CPU over time. That's what this asks. So that means we need to pick the right CPU right off the bat. No upgrading this thing. Just it has to be right off the bat. And that's going to limit us. So we might have to go with not a Radeon GPU or another builder. It's just one thing that you have to remember. And Toxic, I don't think you've been here you haven't been here too many streams, right? You probably haven't heard me talk about how the tariffs, that the ripple effect on the tariffs, everything is more expensive at system integrators right now. Everything's just a little bit more expensive or a lot more expensive, depending, with system integrators right now. Yeah, 9700X, Bergie, is what I was thinking. That's why I said specifically 2 more cores. There's also the 7700, and that would be fine. Price loaded high, $14.99, but it's with a 5060. Well, how many gigs of VRAM we got in that thing? Oh, there's a black one there because you did say you wanted it in black. Ooh, look at that. Oh man. Geometric Future really did nicely with this case, and that color combo is sick. It's over budget. I'm just saying, look at it. All right. Yeah, I've seen your videos from time to time. Well, I haven't put up one talking about the tariffs, so yeah. So this one has a 5060, but it does not say how many gigs of VRAM that has. That is inexcusable. Do you hear me, SkyTech? That is not okay. Wait, hold on. The 5060, that only has 8 gigs. Never mind. I'm thinking about 5060 Ti. So it's very excusable. Yeah, I got you, Alucard. I corrected myself in record time on that one. But, yeah. It is very excusable. Actually, excuse me, SkyTech. You're totally fine. So with that in mind, that's not 1440p. That is not a 1440p card. Does not fit the bill. Okay, we're going to take a look elsewhere now. I got so mad for such a short time. Man, look at that. This is what happens when you have both companies doing multiple VRAM versions of the same card with the same name. That's actually what's inexcusable. TBH. Haven't looked at Ready Systems for quite a while. Go away, go away. All right. Nope. 7600 and an 8 gig 4060 Ti. Get that out of here. And 16 gigs of RAM. Nope. Weak. Weak. You're showing up weak, iBuyPower. What are you doing? I don't think this is going to work, but we'll try it. We're going to try it. Peltask 2.0. Wanted AMD. Okay. It starts with a 9060 XT 8 gig. And then the 16 gig would take it up to over budget. We're over budget already. But if we go Intel, we're not. But that's 13th gen Intel. And this is a 7600X. Is a 9060 XT with 16 gigs okay? I mean, it could be. It depends. Toxic, tell me one thing real quick. What games are you going to be playing in 1440p there? What esports titles are we talking about? I don't know why I did that. Sorry. I do want to use a green geometric feature case for a build, but the NV edition 4060 I have would look comically small in that case. You know what? Evangelion 3080. Purple and green. Did I say Evangelion? Evangelion. Excuse me. It's basically a 7700 XT, but with 16 gigs of VRAM instead and FSR 4. I mean, it would be okay. That's why I need to know the games. I need to know the games. Toxic. So what are some of the games you're going to be playing competitively with this system? Meridan, thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome back to the Swarm, my friend. Let's go, nerds. What's up, buddy? How's it going? If I can find one and rob a bank I don't work with, it would be fine. Problems that I would do the Evangelion Intel board that matched it. Yeah, fair. Just do 12900K. What's up, Dan? How's it going? Doesn't 2 50/50 still become 16 gigs? No, you can't SLI those. Oh, at 2 50/50 SLI, yeah. Call of Duty, Fortnite, and Siege. Okay, so Siege is supposed to be pretty easy to run at a high frame rate, but they did redo their graphics recently. I don't know if it's harder now. It's the Call of Duty that has me concerned there. Fortnite should run fine. Hello. Tekken, Street Fighter. Okay. So this system right here, as it is, let me show you here. I'm not showing it, but this system right here, as it is, would probably be okay for what you want to do. The thing is, it's going to, after my discount, come out to about $42 higher over budget. So to come out to $14.92. Yeah, so $42 over. The reason is I have a $50 discount you can use with Alexander PC. So come out to $14.92. Well, let's talk about the benefits of this system here. So you're talking about a 9600X, 7600X, excuse me, 7600X. They perform pretty similarly. So that's 6 cores, 12 threads. You can try doing your gaming and streaming with that. If you find that it's not enough down the line, you could upgrade that CPU, but you specifically stated that you don't want to. But this system could eventually house a 9800X3D if you want to. You know what I mean? Or the 9600X3D once that comes out. but I would do 9800 X3D for gaming and streaming if possible. You have a nice motherboard for this, the MAG B650 Tomahawk Wi-Fi. You have 32 gigs of DDR5 6000. You're starting out with 1 terabyte of storage, but adding storage over time is something I feel like if you're on a budget, you need to be okay with having to do that down the line. With Call of Duty plus Fortnite plus Rainbow Six Siege plus Tekken plus Street Fighter, you're going to be running pretty short on that storage after a little while. Braxton, what's going on? Glad to have you here. So you could do this. Now, here's another benefit of going with this system. You get a lifetime warranty with this. This gives you a lifetime warranty plus free shipping. So with shipping taken into consideration, some SIs will charge you for shipping. Basically, it would put you under budget if you sort of take that into consideration. But yeah. This is also in the Landcool 207, which is an awesome case. So, I mean, it's a nice build. I got my CyberPower CPU today. Hope I have it set up right. Huh? Man, look at how many VIPs we got up in here. Glad to see you guys. So I would say that Toxic taking of course the lifetime warranty is really nice too. Also with Alexander PCs, you get to choose custom cable extensions in the color of your choice out of their list of colors. I mean, this is probably the best deal out of all of them. With a 16 gig 9060 XT and the 7600X rather. A nice motherboard, not the cheapest motherboard you could possibly buy for this, for sure. 32 gigs of fast memory, because if we look at, like, say this one, the Rampage, it is 32 gigs DDR5 5200. You're looking at here, and also in these, it's 16 gigs of RAM on these instead of 32. With this, you're looking at 32 gigs, very nice Kingston Fury Beast RGB DDR5 6000. And, of course, the Kingston NV3, which is a good speed upgrade over the NV2. 1 terabyte drive. Yeah, that's not a problem. So I think if I send you the variant link, I don't have to email it to you. I don't have your email. Even if you submitted it, that's just for Google. I don't get that. There's the link right there. We are in a chat together right here, and I can post links even if y'all can't. So there's that. And what you need to put in is... throw that in there, code Brayathorn. There you go. Now, here's what you're going to need to do probably with this. Remember, you're trying to do a lot with only so much budget to go around. And that's fine. That's fine. That's what we do here. But what you might need to do is you might need to add in a USB PCIe card. It is plug and play. It just goes into the slot. You just put the screw on there to support it there. And then you have a bunch more USB. But another thing that really helps is getting comfortable with messing with your game's settings, the graphic settings. Do not set them to ultra. Okay? That's for, you know, it's for screenshots and benchmarks. That's all that's for. Medium settings can look great. High settings can look better, but lower your frame rate. Just understand you're trading off the smoothness of the gameplay for visuals. And most people who are competitively playing will drop their graphic settings as low as possible. So you do that, it's going to run pretty well at 1440p. We talked last week, CyberPower. Okay, when you said CyberPower CPU... not PSU, Braxton. I got very confused. You didn't, not PSU, UPS. It is a UPS, not a CPU. I thought you bought a CyberPower PC, and I was upset on your behalf for that. But yeah, it is a UPS, not a CPU. Yeah, you see what happened there. That's what happened there. Okay. But yeah, there you go, Toxic. Don't forget to use code Braithorn. That's what gets it closer to budget. Takes $50 off your purchase. That also supports what I do as well. So that's also always appreciated. And the only way I really like to get any kind of I mean, I do have to make a living, but I don't like it if when you guys do things like dropping a bunch of subs or donoing or anything like that. I'd rather you support what I do by saving money rather than with companies that we trust, rather than spending money, extra money to support what I do. There's a better way to do it. This is the better way to do it. The battery is why it's so heavy. Alucard is correct. Bergie, it is not a contest. All right, Toxic. I think you'll love it. Very cool. That's quick. And you know what? This is something that I need to internalize here. That Alexander PCs, we took a look at their site before. They really are being competitive right now. They beat out Skytech and iBuyPower in terms of price to performance. That's bananas. Alexander PCs beat out Skytech and iBuyPower, Angry Beaver. That's really something. They're not playing around. Alexander PCs is not playing around. I'm glad to hear that you're glad to hear that. It's a lot of S's right there. Them my boys, they're great. A lot of smaller SIs though are really struggling with all the tariff stuff. Like, it is killing American businesses. The ripple effect from that. And even though it's like, oh, we're not doing them there, we're not doing them there. Don't worry, we're not doing them there, we're not doing them there. There was a time where they were, and that's the ripples I'm talking about. It's gonna last for months, where stuff is more expensive. I wish I was rich so I could just buy from them more. Same. Is a Mag X870E Tomahawk Wi-Fi motherboard good? For what, Zintech? Good for what use case? If it's just gaming, that's probably too much motherboard. Come on, Zintech. You've hung around here before. You know how it works. If you want to get good answers, you have to ask good questions. As in informed questions, or inform as you ask questions. V for V, what's up? With inflation these days, don't even bother with a gaming PC. Get a Switch or Switch 2. You know what, guys? V for V is correct. We're just going to go ahead and end the stream right here, because why would I help anybody with PCs? Just go buy a console. All right, guys. Have a good one. Thanks a bunch. V for V, what have I told you about just saying whatever in chat? You're starting off strong here. Starting off real strong. Oh my God. Wait a second. Lone Vaquero. Are you still here, by the way? I just saw this. My bad, Thorn. You know how I roll. You do know how I roll too. I don't, but it's cool. It's fine. State your opinions. That's fine, I guess. Is Lone Vaquero still here? You are. Alucard, I noticed that you responded to Lone Vaquero's timeout somebody else when they chose you to timeout. You do remember what the rule is when someone uses timeout someone else on either the streamer or a mod, right? You remember what happens from that? I want to make sure they're here before you time them out, though. Yeah, sorry, not a contest. And I think mine was only 1350 watt, too. Hey, there you go. Well, the thing is, I'm making sure that I'm buying the right motherboard that doesn't have any issues. But who's to say I won't? Anything. My online friends says they have issues. What issues? Zintech, we need to have a talk about specificity and how you can use it. Scope is looking for him now. Awesome. Too spicy sometimes for my own good. Okay. Thank you, Michelle. It was a good stream. It's too bad it's over, though. Gary Deliberto liked that reaction, though. Deliberto? Did I say that correctly? Is it Deliberto? Is there... Do I accent that? Let me know. But welcome. What's up? I'm not sure what my friend said by it, but I feel like I won't have an issue. Again, can you... Zintech, all right. I don't usually resort to begging, but apparently that's the only thing that will get you to tell us what you're going to use your PC for. Can you please tell us whether it's just for gaming or if you're going to use it for more stuff? There, I said please. De Liberto. Okay. Yeah, probably that. Oops, wrong side. There, this. It's not verbal, though. It's not verbal. I mean, that would imply sounds being made. I think they're just to their keyboard like, look at me. But you know. Streaming, VMs, gaming, home labs, video editing, recording, gameplay. Okay, then yeah, you can do the X870, X870E chipset then. Here, let's look at it. I think I like this one a lot. I think this one turned out really nice, if I'm not mistaken. But let's see. First, I always look at the I/O. This is not bad. It's pretty good. It could be... Look at all this unused space. On X870E. Come on, MSI. Really? VMs too. Let's look at... Okay, storage. 4 M.2 sockets. You've also got decently spaced PCIe slots if you're going to be doing anything like adding I/O or anything like that, or like a PCIe M.2 card. Specifications, let's see what those are running in terms of lanes. So let's see. 3x PCIe slots. So we have 2 from chipset. One of them is only up to X1, which is fine. Then the other one is X4. That's the one where you would put something like a capture card for recording, like you mentioned. Recording gameplay. I've select hearing. I do apologize. Zintech, that's why I helped you out by zooming in on my face with speed lines and throwing in a little bit of echo so that I would be repeating myself without repeating myself. It's great. Love it. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the I/O on this thing. One thing though is that you do get dual USB 4 with DisplayPort, which is nice. But I feel like for something, if you're going to be running multiple, I don't know, it depends. I mean, it's VMs. It's fine. Streaming though, you might want to use that X1 slot, which is this one right here, for a PCIe add-in card, add more USB. If you turn out to put in a lot of devices for streaming, home labs, video editing. Wait, hold on. What CPU? Binary Theory, what's up? How's it going? A 9900X. To be clear, or be honest rather, for your build, I would have gone Intel, but it's all right. Just more cores, and none of them just shut off on you. So that's what I would have done. I don't know if the 9900X has core parking. I keep forgetting that. Yep. Okay. As soon as you turn on a game, you have an 8-core CPU, not 12. Just to be clear, it will shut down the 4-core CCD. That's AMD. That's current AMD for you. They only trust one CCD once you turn on a game. They will not put, I don't know, they just don't want to put the extra work into the scheduler and work with Microsoft on being, hey, gaming just to this CCD, and maybe there's something I don't know. Their engineers are smarter than I am, but I don't like the results. So Intel is better for your use case, yes. I can't just say Intel's better in every way, but for your use case, yeah, Intel's going to be better for you. I mean, you tell me. Are you okay with your CPU dropping to 8 cores just because you turned on a game? A lot of people are fine with that. If you are, then that's fine. I just don't recommend it. Now, if you're the type to upgrade your CPU and you want that socket support, you're not going to get that from Intel. They don't care about that. But if you want a 20-core CPU for $280, then $265K. Heck, what we have been told based on leaks, if you hold off until Nova Lake, which is going to be sometime in 2026. I mean, the Core Ultra 9 is supposed to potentially have 52 cores. 52. That's 16 performance cores in there. Pretty crazy. If true. I feel like I'd benefit with the extra cores with whatever is right. Yeah. I mean, no matter what you're doing, you're going to have all 20 cores with a 265K. And for certain VMs that don't need high, really powerful cores, you can assign efficiency cores to that, I guess. I've never tried to do VMs with having that kind of architecture. I've never tried that. All right, Steve, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. I don't know if I said, but I asked the Phoenix guys what spare parts to get since I'm moving away from any Micro Center. Oh, okay. Not a bad idea. I mean, you can't return them, though, if there's a problem. That's kind of one of the benefits of living near Micro Center. If there's like a DOA issue or it's within warranty, they just handle that stuff for you. Yeah. What's with these bloated MOBOs? Remember, folks, the more PCI ports and features, the more unstable, hot, and overclock handicapped it will be. That is an inaccurate statement. Again. Just shut up, dude. You're actually wrong and actually misinforming people. This is for a system that will be doing streaming, virtual machines, home labs, video editing, and recording gameplay. They need expandability on their motherboards. They need expansion. They need PCIe slots. And what do you mean overclock handicap? What does that mean? What do you mean? Overclocking in 2025 it hardly matters. It's like, it's super just outdated, thinking you've got to overclock your stuff. It's a one-click thing. You just do PBO or you do Intel XTU. V for V, this is 2 streams in a row. You've been putting misinformation in the chat, and I'm sorry, but you're no longer allowed to have your chats shown on this channel. Everybody, 07. Get out of here. Like, opinions are one thing, but putting up misinformation is another. How do you come, look, it's fine to be incorrect, but not confidently incorrect, okay? Like, I've done that, and then I corrected myself. Like, every time, it's just like, you jump up on a soapbox, and then you're just like, I do declare that, and it's just verbal garbage. Not verbal, you're typing. You bring nothing of value. In fact, you do quite the opposite, and I'm done with that. So. They said, take a spare PC, so I'm building my wife a clone of the PC you helped me build. Wow. Okay, nice. No problem. Like, when I'm looking at a feature-rich motherboard for someone who needs those features, and it's like, oh, this stuff, and then overclocking, I can't imagine this person's ever overclocked a PC in their life to say something so incorrect. Like, wow. I feel like I was being trolled, and maybe I fed the trolls there, but whatever. Now we don't have to hear it. I just want AMD to give me a 16-core CCD as performance cores and 32-core efficient CCD on the other side. Jolin, maybe they'll get to that, but AMD doesn't seem to be able to count over 8 when it comes to a core complex die. Even for their EPYC CPUs, it's just a bunch of those 8-core CCDs, if I'm not mistaken. ChatGPT took human form for PC building. Yeah, sit down to eat dinner and see Brace screaming and roasting someone into oblivion because they're banned now. And the thing is, I warned them multiple times on the last stream. If they keep putting misinformation with absolute confidence into chat, that I would ban them because like we're here to fight misinformation, not propagate it. It could be Skynet. No, Skynet was actually, other than the whole time travel thing, pretty competent, it seemed, when it came to the taking over the world thing. Time travel, they're not so good at it, to be honest. With most CPU performance already out of the box, why would you need to overclock? Really, and someone who's like, for you, Zintek, you're going to be running stuff like those VMs. You're going to be doing things like recording gameplay for content, editing video. What you need is not an overclock. You need reliability. You need stability. I would have swung the hammer if I had the power. Alucard, you are a mod. You could have banned them too, but I took that upon myself and took some joy from it. I hate to say it. I'm not someone who usually I'm usually very unhappy to ban someone. I should never get to that point. Yes, sadly, I'm aware, says Jolin. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like I want to go to the engineers and be like, all right, 5. Okay, 5. 6. Yeah, 6. Yeah. 7. Right. Okay. 8. 8. 9. And they're just like 8. I'm just like, nope. Zintek says yes. And yeah, you need stability. That's the main thing. And here's the thing, guys. Y'all have to remember this. Whenever you're like, but look at those charts. The charts right there. Not Intel. Intel on chart, not on top of chart for game at 1080p. Who freaking cares when you're trying to do stuff like this? What did Intel do? They had gaming performance at parity with the previous generation while dropping temperatures and dropping power draw. Neat. For a use case like that, freaking awesome. Yeah, if I could, I would too. I think it would be kind of funny. I think it'd be kind of funny. If I mean, I had planned actually a while back to do a visit to AMD, and we were planning all that out. I fell through, unfortunately, but that would have been a funny short. That would have been a funny short. That'd have been great. You got to find your joy in the small things. Ah, yeah. Oh, you can only time out. That's interesting. I'll have to look at that. DM me what you were able to do. Okay. I don't have Discord open right now, but I'll look at that. I think I timed them out in the last stream. Bending Beaver said, bros being a tool. Yep. Oh, yeah. What's up, Bending Beaver? Welcome. I don't know if I said hi to you, but hi. How's it going? Looking at the form, though, we have not had another entry yet. Polowitz or Xenon, let me know if you're here so we can take care of you. Bergie5 says it's soon to be released. No, it's okay. Bergie, it is apparently not soon to be released. 2026. We're still mid-2025. Most people wouldn't want to wait 6 months. And that's just to get to 2026. We're not talking about them releasing it in January. It'd be cool if they did, but yeah. It's not soon to be released. But I just talked earlier in the stream about how the Core Ultra 9 is supposed to, according to a leak that may or may not be correct, have 52 cores. Now, 4 of those are like low power efficiency cores, then 16 are performance cores. If you can do some math, I'll let you do the rest. How many efficiency cores are there, chat? Oops, sorry, and it'll probably be a small fortune. I mean, 52 cores for a desktop consumer CPU, that's a lot of cores. Nova Lake would be a fantastic workhorse platform, though. I think with them doing what they're doing, though, I'm just hoping... Now, I want to remind you guys that when you're talking about any new platform, every time there's a new platform and there's any issues with anything like stability or whatever, reviewers are like, oh my God, how could they release this before it was ready? It's new CPU. How is it? It's lots. I'm like, is this your first product launch? That's every new CPU generation has some kind of issues. That's why we call it early adopter woes, right? Like if you're on the bleeding edge, you might get cut a little bit. It's not comfortable to be on the bleeding edge of technology and get stuff right when it comes out. Y'all should know this. So it's going to be probably a little unstable when it comes out. Usually you give it a month and a half, something like that. Or you deal with that if you're cool with it. That's what it means to be an early adopter, right? I know what I'm getting into. But if you want to wait a month or two, then BIOS updates come out. Usually it'll really kind of level out. This happened to AMD with original 9000 series CPUs. Their AGESA originally was terrible. But all people remember is the last major generation of launch, and that was Core Ultra 200S, Core Ultra 200S, the Arrow Lake. So all they remember is some instability when Intel first launched their stuff. But go back to every single launch of new CPUs, new chipsets. That's what you get. That's what happens. That's just being an early adopter. That's how it goes. I timed out last time. I did. New GPU generations too. Yes. 32 alleged E-cores. I can't see that not being a thing, Bergie. I cannot see that not being a thing. If you look at the current layout of Arrow Lake, there is space there that is unused. Tech tubers. OMG, the CPU is so unstable or is doing something stupid. Me, first time? Yeah. Waste of sand. Steve, calm down with that. It was funny the first time. It's not funny anymore. Like, we get it. We get it. We know it's made from sand. Silicon is made from sand. I wanted to know where he was getting his misinformation. Probably trolling me, honestly, at this point, Clone Smurf. You say the opposite of what is true, especially when I'm like, hey, this would be good. And they're just like, I mean, they started off the whole conversation by saying like, nope, buy PCs, buy consoles. Like, that's designed to set me off, basically. It's rage bait. It's rage bait. But what will happen if you rage bait me is it will work and then you're gone. Bye. I'm an emotional creature. And I'm not ashamed. Not ashamed of that. I also there are some times where chat has been like, dude, you're being so patient with this person. Rage bait is bad. I tend to ignore those people. The problem in tech is that some people will engage with that and start having conversation and then start believing them because of their conviction. Okay? And then what will happen is they'll start looking for things that will confirm their bias that they have newly gained. What that is called, appropriately, is confirmation bias. It still takes a lot to rage bait you. I mean, it took an entire stream and a few chats this stream, I guess. But yeah, it does take a lot to rage bait me. I'll usually just try to correct people if I can. But I don't know. I want everyone to feel welcome here. I can probably count on both my hands and probably maybe my toes how many people have actually banned over the years. Shayless, what's up? How's it going? How are you doing? How have you been? Welcome. What's going on, Shay? Any guess as to when we might get graphene-based CPUs? It's probably not going to be any... I mean, first off, there have been several bleeding-edge technologies, like, having processing or storage in glass and things like that, that can store all this. It's really slow, but it can store all this crazy stuff, and it has degradation, which lasts like centuries or whatever. Those kinds of things don't make it to mainstream unless they prove financially viable, marketable, and like they're worth the investment. Because we've had lithography machines for a really long time, John Paul. A really long time. All they've been doing is refining the process. So, yeah. Ooh, I got a question. Doing great, been busy. How are you? I'm doing okay, yeah. Got a question. I think you did a video on this case, but the new curved PC cases. What are your thoughts? Okay, which one are we talking about? If you're talking about the King 95 Pro, yeah, I did a build stream in that. I've like covered it in some PCs in videos. Yeah, I love that one. It's one of my favorite cases, especially if you get the Pro, King 95 Pro, because it comes with all the fans that you need other than ones on your cooler. So yeah, I really like it. Which one are you talking about? They were the height cases. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think it's out yet. So yeah, as Alucard said, you're talking about the X50. The X50, I really like it. I like that they're launching it with 6 colors. I like the story of how they had to figure out how to manufacture that. But the one that looks like a Beats pill computer, that one, right? That one's really nice. Look, they make a version of it, Shay, that's in purple. How am I not going to like it? It's not out yet, though. It's supposed to come out sometime in the summer, which probably means late next month. When they say that, when this company says that, they're giving themselves the flexibility to launch that thing at the end of the season they were talking about. But it should be, if you want the one with the glass on the side and top, which is the one I would probably recommend, that one's going to be supposedly $150. The one with the metal mesh on the side and top, the curved panel there, that one's going to be, I think, $120. I would do the glass for that. The Silverstone FP2 will be a fun one to make too, probably. I honestly need to give a better look to, what was it, the Corsair 9000 something that had sort of the separate place for the AIO radiator where it doesn't let any of that hot air in and it only gets fresh air for the radiator. It just exhausts it out. That one looks kind of good, but way huge, like a massive case. Oh, she got an ad. Okay. I'll reiterate some stuff. Let's see if there's anything on the internet about the X50. Height X50. Back, facts. My one PC is missing its glass. Been like that for years. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Alucard. Oh, hold up. Alucard Markov, thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub to Shayless. Let's go, nerds. Shay, welcome to the swarm. There you go. No more ads right there. What was I going to say? The tri-chamber case from Corsair looked interesting, but way too thick for most desks. I mean, this is an 80-inch desk. I could do it. King 95 Pro does come in red and blue too, but it's not a muted red or blue. Yeah. So if we just take a look right over here, then it was a Taco Bell ad. Not bad. You know why? You know why? It's because they see the Baja Blast going on. That's why. Because I have excellent taste. So yeah, just the fact that they're launching in all these colors is awesome. You can basically put in a pre-order on this site right here. And it's just, it's, you know what? It's such a nice case. It really is. And it looks, some parts look like they might be plastic. It's like all metal. It's crazy. Probably get the white. All right. Yeah, it's clean. It's clean as hell. I love it. This is mine right here. This is the one they're going to send me. And I talked to them about this. I need to get back with them because we were going to have to wait till they arrived. But I talked to them about doing a build stream where I would also be able to do a giveaway of the case, of one of the cases. So that would be awesome. I like the white and the pink. You know what would be? Oh, you know what? You know what would be awesome? Is if you could get the white but put the pink front panel on it and maybe like a couple extra parts that are pink, like maybe the PCIe slot covers or just little bits that are pink from the pink case. Like the right side panel, stuff like that. That'd be super cool to have two-tone. It really reminds me of the 90s. Yeah, yeah. Peachy Tech was glazing the pink one for some time. No, because it's a really nice shade of pink. Okay, it's like I think this is like, dude, Ari would love this. Ari would love this color. I might have to rebuild her PC into one of these. She would love it. Also, this might be kind of good for UV printing, maybe, but not the curved parts. UV printing generally cannot print on curved surfaces, but the part that's not curved, maybe. Or Alucard, imagine the black and the red, or black in any of the three colors here. Yeah. Pink plus blue would be awesome. Well, there's no blue. There's this purple here. But that combo would be good. That combo would be good. The pink and purple. Let me ship you my PC and you can transport all my parts. I will cry the entire time I do it. I mean, maybe this room here is oh, hold on, I pressed it twice. This room it looks like a decent sized room because of the wide angle lens. It is, I can like, I'm like, if my wingspan was just a foot wider, I could touch both desks. It's the wide angle lens that makes it look like that. So, and I have PCs here. I've got way too much stuff, but could always walk you through it. Or, I don't know, maybe. Heck, maybe that could be the stream. But the thing is, I intend to keep the... and they're going to send me a purple one, not the white or the pink. So, I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Again, so a Intel Core Ultra 7 265K is what I'm going to need. That's what I would do, Zintech. 20 cores... for, I think it's currently 280 is, what is it? What is a 7900X running right now? 9900X rather. 9900X is currently over $400. Best Buy has it for $470. Yeah, I'll follow that stream. I need to watch every step. There you go. Do a follow along thing. Basically, when you do actually, Shay, do you remember when we did that? We all met up, and we did we got the Airbnb thing. Shay and I used to be in an org together called Team Excluded, and we had that whole thing. And Blaston and I filmed a case migration in the kitchen there. And it took like, holy crap, it took us like 4 hours. Oh my God. And because we wanted to film other stuff, but I was like, guys, this is going to take a long time. We're not just building a PC, which already takes a while. We have to unbuild one PC and then build another. And that and that was fun though. That was a fun trip. That was a really fun trip. No joke. That was a really good trip. I still use the pictures from that. From back when my beard wasn't all gray. Being a content creator is a stressful job. That would be a good one to work with. You had that video with Blasting. Yeah, that was fun. Maybe we should come down and make the red one on stream. Alucard, there's not room for 2 people in here. Look, if I have to tell Splave, no, dude, you can't fly down here and make content with me. I'm just a dude in a room. Like, I don't have space for, especially not him. He's a gigantic, muscle-bound man that is also a computer nerd and a world record holding overclocker. If I had to tell him no. Warzone Customs. Yep. Oh, the tournament. I remember that. That was fun. You said that height case was how much? With the glass side panel, it's supposed to be 150. And the thing is, I believe you'll only be able to purchase it off of Height's website. That's how they're sort of fighting the tariffs, because if they go through a retailer, they're literally losing money on every case. So you'll only be able to get it off of height.com. It is a good price. Here, hold up. Just go here. This is the site where you can do a pre-order. Difference is that Splave might eat me. I may be close to his height, but nowhere near his mass. True. He's actually such a nice dude, though. He is a gentle giant. Such a nice guy. Thank you, thank you. No problem. You'll have to remind me at some point what your specs are and whether that might be a good time to upgrade something or other. You know what I mean? While you're already taking it apart. Like, why not? But when you are doing one of those, there are certain things that you can do to make it easier. Like, you don't need to touch the CPU. You don't need to take that out of there. You don't even need to remove the cooler or the RAM or the storage. You just take the whole motherboard out, and if it's an AIO, you take the cooler out and just move it to the new case. So it's a lot easier than building a PC. But then you do have to move the power supply. You have to unplug everything from the motherboard. It's a little bit of a pain. But if you watch that old video, whose channel was that on? I think that's on Blastin's channel. If you watch that old video, I give a whole step-by-step thing on how to do it. We do that. Pink plus blues be awesome. Michelle says, I would have to lean into the whole vibe and get the lime green. Imagine if there was a gold option. Gold plus black. Oh, man, Smokey and the Bandit vibes. Or Asus Pro Art vibes. Or ASRock Tai Chi motherboard vibes. Signed up. Hey, there you go. All right. The first 50,000 pre-orders will receive an exclusive gold height badge with their X50, a rare and bespoke collectible accessory to commemorate your place as part of the first edition. Very nice. And so, Shay, I just got to check. You found out about this from my maybe it was an Instagram reel or YouTube short. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And look what happened. You found something cool. There you go. MSI Inspire, true Alucard, or Zotac GPU, the black and gold. So many options. So many options. We love it. We love it. I still need to get my Future Dusk Tower 600. Still got to get that. Yeah, I put on there that I heard about the case from you just in case that helps. Oh, it does. They'll like that. Well, if the person reading those sees it. We're talking about 50,000 pre-orders, so maybe. I hope so. I think I still actually have a discount code for the site once you actually buy it. Just try Bray05 if they actually read it. Who knows? Oh, actually, the code's going to be different now because it's a new month. Hold up. Let me see if this works. Actually, let's just try putting something in the cart. Okay, let's just... I need to stop pressing the foot pedal twice. Okay. So if I just go to cart, let's see if my... I need to see if the code's going to be working. Hold up. View the cart. Enter promo code Ray05. Okay, what if it's 7? Also, they might not have it working for height. It might just be on iBuyPower. Yeah, it's just iBuyPower. Okay. But I need to check this, though. I need to figure out if that's working. Add to cart. Oh, no, we're not. Let's take this out of the cart. I should do... Let's just remove that. Go here. Gaming PCs. Custom PC builder. Let's just do this one. Add to cart. Yes. I gotta know. I gotta know, chat. 1 second. View cart. So it currently has a $100 discount, but if we put Bray 05, okay, it's not working. Bray 06, maybe? Bray 07. They're supposed to be changing it with the numbers. Okay, no. So I have to talk to them. Every month they have to re-up the coupon code. It's fun. Now we wait till I can pre-order it. Asus has a gold 5090. Problem, real gold. It's, yeah, no. Bergie 5. I was at the Tech Mall in, if you've seen that short, I was at the Tech Mall in Taiwan and I ran into Linus and he was telling me about the 5090. And it was pretty cool. But yeah, it was like $8,000 for a graphics card. $8,000 delivered directly to him from Dubai. Asus Pro motherboards are black plus gold. Such a nice looking motherboard. Agreed. I just wish that... I don't like the way they configured the I.O., but it's fine. That's just me. He got one and he gave it away to a dude in the street. I know. I would have been like, hey, I'm giving you this. Hold on. Give me that graphics card. Here's a 5070 Ti. There you go. Now it's a question of he will still buy... Will he still buy the 5090 Plouf pre-ordered? That's up to Plouf. And I think he did. I don't know. Anyway. I didn't mean to get too off base here. But yeah, I still kind of want one of these, but man, I'm just gonna have to go for the X50, I think. Because in the X50, guys, I can actually put capture cards and stuff in there. The Y70, Y60, Y40, you can't put full-size PCIe cards in there for streaming systems. You can't do it. He was going to buy Plouf's pre-order when talking about the 5090. Oh, okay. Guess I missed that mention. The MSI Ace was the one I used in the Fractal North with the black and gold vibe. The Ace is it's like a $650 motherboard, my guy. That is so expensive. But then again, so is the ProArt. ProArt's expensive too. Not that expensive, though. In an old video comparing them. Yeah, I remember that video, but I don't remember him saying he was going to buy Plouf's. I could see him doing that, though. Bought mine refurbished for $200. Well, that's good. Refurb is awesome for that. I just need to, honestly, guys. So, okay. I have some very good news, by the way. So, how's my music level here? Is it too loud? That's about right. We're going to drop it down a little bit. I have some really good news. So some of y'all know that we're on the channel. We're moving to a new editor. One of the many reasons we haven't had main content on the YouTube channel for a while is because our primary editor left the channel on good terms. Everything's good. He's still a buddy. He's still a friend of the channel and friend of the community, Mr. Cuddles. But we had Onware, who was jumping on as the editor. However, Onware lives in Jordan. Just to show you, this is where Jordan is. Right here. So, yeah. Right there, right by Israel, between Israel and Iraq, and Iran is right here. So that is where my new editor lives, in here. Oh, what camera do you use, if I'm asked? It's very crisp. I will tell you, I don't have a command for that. But real quick, just to finish this, I told Onward, do what you got to do. Take care of your family. That's your priority. That's what you need to do. And he was like, okay. And I let him do his thing. And then he came back and said, hey, things have calmed down here. We're ready to get back to work. I'm like, holy crap, that's amazing. So July is the month that main YouTube channel content returns. We're freaking back, baby. Yes. We're doing it. We're making it happen. So keep an eye out, because I've had to put it off for multiple reasons, but some really cool stuff is coming. Like the second interview with Rob Teller, which was a great conversation. We're finalizing that. I have some more shorts to upload. Yes, from Computex. Yes, they're late, but they're going to go up. And then the renewed System Integrators Weekly that is changing to PC Gateway. That's coming. All right. Now, Shaylis, to answer your question, I don't recommend this camera to anyone unless you're like getting into full-on YouTube content, because it is it's a Sony FX3, and just the body is like $4,000. I mean, I use it for like tech B-roll and computer montages and stuff like that. I don't know if you remember, Shay, but when we were at that content house thing and we were doing the thing with Team Excluded, you remember how I am about gear? The fact that we were able to film and do so many things because I brought a carload of gear from my studio with multiple cameras and all of that. That's how I'm obsessed with it. Yeah. So you remember me unpacking when I first arrived? I said hi to everybody. I was like, okay, give me help. And it was just like bringing in stuff from the back of the car. So yeah. So, and that's just the body of the camera, by the way. The lens, I think, was like $800, but you can get up to like $3,000, $4,000 on lenses. And that's not as far as you can go even farther than that. When you go to like G Master lenses, things like that, it gets really expensive. But as you can see, I mean, again, this is the actual angle. This is the actual coverage I'm getting from the full sensor, plus a 20 millimeter lens, all that good stuff. It's just, and then there's this guy. Now, this guy I can recommend to content creators, especially if you like to vlog. This is my DJI Osmo Pocket 3. And I use face tracking on it so that I can have a nice slim camera, but still move around and always be centered in the frame. I can definitely recommend this for streaming because you can do the wide angle, the full angle on it if you want. I use it in vertical mode to get high resolution vertical video just for this little part of the screen. But you can just take this thing around. I film most of my shorts on this, so you can get legit content out of it. It's really nice. Looking at the ZV-E10. Oh, it's up there. That's my top-down camera. I have a ZV-E10. I actually built my channel on the ZV-E10. I built my whole channel on that. That's one of the I think it's one of the cameras I brought down was a ZV-E10. Which one is that called again? It is the DJI. Here, I'll just type it. This is a little one where you walk, like you see people, content creators walking around with it. It has a little gimbal camera on top of it, and it has a screen that can flip from vertical to landscape. So you can do like widescreen content, 16:9 or 19:6 vertical content. And that's what I film all my shorts and in Instagram Reels on now. No problem. So it's not just computer questions. If you got gear questions, I'm all about that. I'm so much about gear that Newer, who makes awesome lights and mounts and different things like that, they actually had me go with them to NAB in like late March, early April, to go and work in their booth and talk to content creators because I knew their gear so much. I just got obsessed with it. Don't ask me. I don't know why. I don't do anything halfway, I guess you could say. That one's crazy expensive too, at least for me right now. Well, you think about the ZV-E10 with a good lens, it's about the same price as getting, or with an okay lens, is about the same price as that little camera right there, But this thing is sort of an all-in-one kind of thing. It's up to you. It has to fit what you want to do. The ZV-E10 is probably going to be easier to set up for streaming than this is. This is a little bit finicky. I got to mess with it now and then. I just like the face tracking, though. Especially when I zoom in, this has to be crisp, too. But, yeah. Anyway. Look, seems like I should ask you for options when I start making videos. Yeah, I mean, I've been doing that for a little bit, so I would say so. Rebuilt. Oh, yes. Oh, hell yes. Okay, yes, that is also happening. But the production, Gary, we're starting from scratch because it's a whole new PC and everything. I'm not going to rush that because I'm going to be producing at least the first 4 episodes all at the same time. That's how I was planning on doing it before, and I have to refilm everything. But that's so I can come out with them while working on all the next ones and come out with them at a steady pace. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Why did it do that? Hold on. Let me go back to here. See why it did that. Hold on. There and there. Okay. It didn't mess up this time. I don't know. Whatever. Man. But no, I can vouch for the ZV-E10 though, Shay. It is really a solid little camera, especially if you can find a lot of good gear used as well. I should have been doing that from the start, but I only caught on to that recently, unfortunately. Got any tips for YouTube channels? I stumbled into what got me into the PC thing and actually helped me grow. What I did was I was just posting all kinds of stuff and just watching, because you'll get some viewers. I was just watching the search terms that brought people to one video or another. I just happened to see one that said best pre-built PC 2020 or 2021, whenever that was. And I was like, oh, that's a commonly used search term. Why don't I make content about that? And here we are, right? Actually, I don't actually know how many. We got 40 people hanging out on YouTube. What's up, YouTube? And 31 hanging out on Twitch. Hi, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with me. Has anybody filled out the form real quick? I got to check. No, we're still good. It has been slow these last few days. Last few streams. What is the best PC, pre-built PC for $600? I'd personally say the Mac Mini. T. Peterloff, you might have been here when I actually recommended that to someone who wanted to do video editing with a $700 budget. I was like, all right, Mac Mini. Just do that. But I want a game. Okay, take what's left of your $1,200 budget and... Well, they had more than that. They had more budget. I was like, get a Steam Deck. That, you can get a dock, game on your monitor, switch between the two. Bam, you got a gaming PC and you have a video editing PC. And yeah, the Mac Mini is super capable for its price. The entry price on those is insane. I'm not a Mac hater. It's not my not my main thing. It's not my thing. I just started getting into YouTube and it's a grind for sure, but your channel seems very successful, so congratulations. Shay, I plateaued, and then when my editor had to leave the channel, I sort of never recovered from that, plus other personal stuff and everything going on and stuff going on in the industry. I've been off my game for probably the last 6 months. But I'm changing it up. I'm going to make a new series. Basically, what'll happen is this, and it's not the same for everyone, but you'll find something that works for you. And then maybe for a year or two, a couple of years, and then you have to sort of evolve with how audiences are changing. So when I started the pre-built stuff, it was during the shortages, and people were wanting to game on PC. People were in lockdown at home, stuff like that. So I grew pretty fast, and then I kept growing because I leaned into that. But now people aren't buying PCs that much because of all the economic uncertainty. So I've been planning out a series for like 2 years, but now I got to make it happen where I help people upgrade what they already have. So I'm adapting to that. And I also need to start making a lot more short form content. That's just what everybody tells me. All my content creator friends are like, dude, why aren't you on TikTok? My answer is usually, I hate TikTok. I'm not a consumer of TikTok. I watch YouTube most of the time, so I want to do YouTube. You might notice I started doing more on Instagram just because brands want that. for sponsored stuff, whatever. I have an editor, and it's hard starting out having to pay people what we pay them, but it's an investment. It is an investment. I also started YouTube with someone who was editing half of my videos, and I was editing the other half. That was Mr. Cuddles back then. But yeah. There's been any updates on that cool Thermalright AMD mini PC open case thing? Not Jasper's, not that I've caught. It's not a market I usually pay much attention to, but I don't know. You might know more than I do about it. Yeah, short form is super important. It is, though, important to remember that short form subscribers, people who've subscribed to you from your short form content, generally won't watch your long form videos because they can't just do this when they're watching long YouTube videos and get to the next one. I was actually, so I talked to, I had a 2-hour conversation today with Tristan from Designs by IFR. Alucard, you probably know that channel. Some of you guys might know that channel if you like PC building content and custom builds and awesome stuff like that. Really great channel, Designs by IFR. But Tristan is part of the team there, and I had a 2-hour conversation with him, and I was realizing something. And Shay, you need to listen to this. Think about this. There are things that Instagram does that we can point at that are actively bad for content creators. And let's think about this, okay? When you go to Instagram and you go to Reels and you watch your first Reel, right? If you just opened up the app, what does Instagram do to you? What does it do to the screen? It starts moving the screen up and says, hey, no, swipe, go to the next one, watch the next one. Don't stay and comment on this one or like it or engage with it in any way. Don't read the description. It urges you to swipe to the next reel. They don't care about people watching your content. They care about people watching Instagram content. Instagram engagement, because of this, compared to other platforms, engagement with the content sucks. But viewership is amazing. Tristan was telling me it's an average of 200 comments per million views. That is so bad. That is absolutely horrible. Like, that's crazy. I'll get on YouTube. Let me just check real quick. I'm just going to bring up, I'm sorry I'm yelling, okay? Also, think about this to yourself. Why doesn't Instagram let you put links in the descriptions of your reels or photos? Because that link goes somewhere other than Instagram. They barely let you put one link in your bio. That's it. They don't want you sending anybody anywhere else. They don't care about your growth. They care about people watching ads on Instagram. Of course they do. Their job is to make money for old Zuck. That's their job. I hate that I always want to link things. I mean, I do too. I get sponsorships where they know I can't do it, but it would be so much better if I could say, hey, look at how awesome this is. If you want to get it, you can go there. This was sponsored, by the way, but whatever. I don't accept sponsorships for things I don't like, by the way. So, but let me look here. I'm going to look at some of my higher viewed videos here. Let's go to my videos and we will sort by views. Okay. I don't think this is showing anything I shouldn't show. So let's take a look here. Okay. So this is this is part of my YouTube Studio dashboard. Okay. Remember, Instagram, 1 million views, averages 200 comments. My most viewed video is at 280,000, not anywhere near a million, 1,114 comments. My next most viewed video, 246K, 414 comments. Like, the engagement on YouTube videos is way better. And you can link anything you want in the bio and in the description. Now, they don't let you put links in the description of YouTube Shorts. Now, why do we think that is? The only thing you can link, because YouTube is copying Instagram and TikTok with their shorts. So the only thing you can actually link, and I think this is actually one good thing, is to a full-length video. That's it. You cannot put a link to anything in the comments or in the description. They don't want you getting off platform. But Instagram doesn't have long-form content like YouTube. So Instagram is just like, what, you want to put links there? You think whatever you're trying to do is important enough to have us stop getting ad revenue? No. They do want you to stay on YouTube Shorts specifically. They want you doom scrolling. John, what's up? I work as a contractor for Meta, and one of the main projects for employees is getting engagement through interests like ads you click on. Also, hi. What's up? John, what I would like Meta to allow on Instagram, because I know you said Meta, so I don't know if it's Facebook or just Meta in general, but they're hurting engagement with creators. I don't know if you heard this part, but I talked about how damaging it is and how it affects viewer behavior to have that little thing happen when you watch your first Instagram reel, right? When you're just about to start doom scrolling, right? You watch an Instagram reel, and what happens to the screen without you touching it? It starts to mimic swiping up to get to the next one. It's like, don't like this, don't comment on this. This person doesn't matter. Watch more. Watch more. Doom scroll. Watch more. That creator is not important. Just watch more. Get ads. Get served ads. Keep going. So that means that creator, I was showing an example to show how bad and dumb this is. That's why I was showing this, because according to I was having a discussion about this, and according to this person's research, comments were on average 200 comments per million views on Reels. 200 comments per million views. And I was showing just how insane that is, considering I don't have a single video that is at 1 million views. Highest is on YouTube. Highest is at 280K. That has 1,114 comments on it. Come on. So Instagram is hurting creator engagement and just force feeding you more content and ads. It sucks, dude. It sucks. They want data of your interests to push different ads in hopes you'll purchase. Of course, like, it's a publicly traded company. It needs to make money for its shareholders. I get it. Buttermax115, what's going on? I have a 5000X3D. What is the best GPU I can get with it? No budget. No budget? 5090. Have fun. I mostly play first-person shooters and a lot of story games. Well, see, the thing is, previously you didn't give me a resolution. Now you're saying you want to switch to 4K. And you usually like crank in the settings. I usually like to max out the settings. That's what I mean. That's what I figured. But if there's no budget, then get a 5090. They're mostly averaging around $3,000 right now. So just make sure you have a massive power supply. And yes, a 5800X3D, it will not bottleneck a 5090 at 4K. Come on. That's more CPU than you need at 4K. 4K doesn't really leverage the CPU that much for most games. There's some games that are the exception. They also made it, sorry, Shay. They also made it harder to find the description, in my opinion, for a full video. Yes, absolutely. It used to be easier to click. Yep, YouTube did do that. They still let you do whatever you want with the description. And what you can do is you can say all kinds of stuff about what's in the description. So that helps. But it's not as easy to see it. You usually see a good chunk of it and then expand it. But yeah, John, I had a 2-hour discussion about content with another content creator today. And like, it was like a revelation when I was thinking about that little behavior that Instagram does. It's so annoying to me that I'm not done watching this reel and it's moving my screen. Who the hell do you think you are? I don't want that. That's super annoying and it's super distracting. Just like these things replay. Let me finish watching it. God, that is so freaking annoying. That is bad design. It is poor, bad design. Like, oh God, it's toxic. Toxic behavior. From Instagram, no way. But Buttermax 115, I would say right now, what do you have right now for your GPU? My girlfriend has a bike account on IG and was on a good pace of attracting followers and got to 16K in a year. Now it's dropping off hard and she's not getting as many likes and comments. Yep. Instagram is cultivating doom scrolling. And doom scrolling means you check out, you just keep going, keep watching. You're just a pair of eyes and a wallet. Keep going, get served ads. And I thought I hated TikTok. But like Instagram is just like, we can be as bad as TikTok, if not worse. Who do you think we are? We could totally do that. Come on, let's go, Zuck. Let's be worse than TikTok. Man, get out of here. I find a lot of the video's descriptions so misleading on YouTube. Oh, well, for YouTube Shorts, a lot of the AI generated slop has just the most nonsense titles. Yeah, YouTube is the best. Shay, to me, YouTube is probably the most stable. It's just that YouTube is, they have their flaws, don't get me wrong. Especially the way they do ads. Ads are really bad on YouTube, but it's the lesser evil. It is. Yeah. I don't regret having focused on YouTube, even though I don't have big, crazy numbers to show everybody. But I had this conversation at NAB with someone, and they were like, it's because I was with Newer, and I was but I was there as a content creator, not just there to just talk. I was there to advise content creators about lighting and stuff, because I'm pretty good at that. You know, I'm decent at it. You know, like the guys at Newer know their products really well, but I actually like I use my lighting and everything in actual content creation. But I was having a conversation with one, and then they were like, "So what's your like followage at?" And I was like, "Oh, you know, on YouTube, I'm getting up to like, or I would just said I'm getting up to like 40K subs, and across all platforms it's like 55K, something like that, 60K." And they were like, "Oh, how many shorts do you post a week, or how many TikToks do you post a week?" I was like, that's long form subscribers. And they were like, "How did you do that?" Because before they were thinking like, "Oh, that's not a very big creator if their TikTok account isn't it, you know, it's 6 digits or at least or whatever." But then I said long form, and it's like people aren't working on that. It is harder to get subscribers for long form content, but those subscribers are there for those long form videos. That's what they're there for. You get a bunch of subscribers or followers or whatever on Instagram or TikTok, or I mean, Facebook is weird to me. I don't really mess with Facebook, but I hear it can actually be really good. I just don't like Facebook as an idea, as a concept. But you try to take that and then do long form content on YouTube. That audience, they just want to watch your 30, 60, or 90-second whatever shorts or TikToks. It's not the same kind of audience. What do you think about promoting videos for audience growth on YouTube? Well, here's like, if you want to do things like, okay, I don't know if you mean by promoting as in doing like advertising for your YouTube channel, because I have heard of that and I have seen that. If you mean like making shorts out of long form videos just to hype them up and get people to go watch them, converting someone from a short to a long form video is supposed to be very hard. Like pay to promote my own videos. I have heard it said that if you want to grow and you're not doing that, what are you even doing? I will tell you, whatever growth I've had was organic. It was all organic. I've never paid to promote my videos. I only found out about even doing that, during the call I had today. I have never considered it, and I've never done it. So I don't have any advice for that. Like, if it works, it works. The only thing I'm going to say and be adamant on is the only thing I won't say is go do view botting to grow your Twitch channel, because it's not real growth. Because you got Ray J now being like, yeah, I'm view botting, so what? I know Dan Clancy. And then what's Dan Clancy going to do? Hopefully something to set some sort of precedent. But you're about to see a lot of people popping off on Twitch, quote unquote, popping off. But I've been putting $10 per video to promote them, but not sure. Is there any way to see, Shay, is there any way to see statistics on that? Like analytics on that? On how that advertising is going, the promotion? If there is, track that. You got to see if you're getting a return on that investment. But $10 isn't bad. Binary Theory, Ray J, who is I think he's a rapper and just a personality, sort of celebrity person, you know, one of those. I don't know what he does, actually. So I can't speak to that. But he started streaming on Twitch as an already famous person, you know, and went from having a few hundred viewers to having 8,000-9,000 concurrent viewers. And when asked about view botting, he was like, oh, they're saying you're view botting. So what? It's legal. If it's legal, you should do it. So he basically admitted to view botting, and everyone is just like, oh. And they're just looking at Twitch. And I'm here looking at Twitch. Like, what are y'all going to do? Now, he openly admitted to it. People who have been caught view botting before, nothing ever happened to them. They left the platform because they were worried something would happen to them. So we don't know what Twitch is going to do. It's against TOS. But the way he's doing it is by embedding his stream in certain websites and stuff. It's different from bringing fake viewers to the actual platform. Currently, it just seems like the ability to view bot is crazy. Not that crazy when you think about it, but yeah. IG has the same thing, and I did like the $5 option and got an average of 1,000 to 2,000, but that was also like 2 years ago, says John. Yeah, I think my biggest reel is at 18K views. That is the one that Shay saw with the X50, and I didn't promote that, but I don't know. I did collaborate with Height on that, and they posted it on their, like, when you collaborate with a company, it'll show up on their feed. That absolutely helps my viewership, so I can't really say. I mean, I've gotten almost 400 new subscribers promoting my videos. I did look it up to make sure it's legit and not fake views, because I would never want that. I feel you. Like, who wants to grow with fake viewers or like get bot comments like unbox therapy? Like, that dude's gotten raked over the coals, like dragged over the coals over that. That's RAKED, by the way. It's a turn of phrase, okay? Turn of phrase. Raked over the coals. I realize I said that a little too fast. I want to be sure that y'all understand what I said. He's gotten dragged over the coals for that. Onion Garden Computers, what's up? Welcome to the stream. How's it going? That seems like pay for play. Paying to get you on the front page of Twitch to attract more viewers just feels wrong. John, let's think about it another way, because I'm not trying to start drama or be a hater, all right? If it's within TOS, I can't really say much other than I find it ethically challenging that I would ever do anything like that. But think about this. Like it or not, if you want to be a content creator, you have to, in a way, just like a salesperson, when you're selling a fridge or something, the first thing you do is sell yourself as someone who is reputable or whatever and knows what they're doing, and someone you would want to buy that from, right? Well, it's the same thing with content. You have to, and it sounds bad to say selling yourself, but no, selling it's a term in sales where it's like sell yourself and you sell the product, right? I basically have to, come off as someone who knows PC stuff if you're going to listen to me about PC stuff. Obviously, right? But what do companies do when they want to sell a product? They advertise it. But it's also kind of jumping the line in the algorithm, kind of trying to get your video put in front of more people. But remember this, if you don't have the right title and thumbnail, it doesn't matter if more people see that, because they're still not going to click through. That's what CTR is. It's click-through rate. If you have the right, it's called packaging. The title and thumbnail is called your packaging. You need to have that You need to have a nice thumbnail that is attention getting and is, you don't want to clickbait either. You want to have something relevant to your video. Have a good catchy title, and the first 6 seconds of your video they have to hook you. You do that, and then you promote. Then it's going to really get you more out of that. Doing okay, doing stress testing, and saw your stream, so I decided to join. Well, OG Computers, if I may call you that, you're asking what I do here. What I do here is called PC Matchmaking. PC Matchmaking is where viewers can submit a form letting me know whether they want a pre-built or a parts list for a DIY build. Either one is fine. And then they'll give me their budget, what their use case is for, or multiple use cases for the PC, gaming, streaming, video editing, whatever. Like they want it to be a black or white PC, whatever. All these little questions, and then I help them find the right pre-built or put together a parts list, all to match their budget and needs. That's what I do. Right now, we don't have anyone on the list who has submitted the form. We did one earlier tonight, but it's just a free thing that I do. I have done PC builds on here. I will get PCs from system integrators, PC builder companies, and unbox them and stress test them and review that whole experience. I do that at times. I have one coming up with a PC from Asus, but yeah. Binary Theory says, I learned recently that the Twitch homepage and front page are different things. Apparently, homepage counts towards viewer count, even if they're not real viewers. I did not know that, BT. That's interesting. Bots don't usually comment. I got what you meant. No, look at Unbox Therapy videos and read those comments. It's pretty clear what's going on. Yeah, but for Ray J already being known, what's the point of botting is more what I mean. I pay to make my thumbnails good looking because I do agree those are very important. Oh yeah, there's no denying that. Like basically you can just copy the style of Mr. Beast thumbnails and it will instantly be more successful. They have it down to a science. Gary Lee over on YouTube. What is your feeling on how much longer AM5 will be current? Starting to save up for end-of-life upgrades, current CPU 7900X3D and 7900XTX. Okay, Gary, it is 9 years since the launch of socket AM4, and they still are releasing CPUs for that, even though they said support would stop in 2020. It is 2025, and they're launching the 5500X3D. AMD does not waste a good socket, okay? They are supposed to be, they said 2027 and beyond. And I can't think anything other than they mean that when they say it. I cannot possibly, anyone would have told you, 2022, 2023, that's the end. Oh, they launched another one in 2024. Well, that's the end for AM4. Oh my God, they're launching one in 2025. I don't even know when they're going to stop supporting AM4, much less AM5. What AMD can do to advance their technology with a fixed number of pins is freaking insane, okay? It is crazy what they can do with a fixed number of pins. They do not mess around. It's very nice because it's less e-waste that way. But anyways, so I cannot possibly guess. It could be 2030 when they stop supporting that. I have no idea. I get it. Can I bother you to look at our website and just tell us what you think? It does not need to be on stream, but I'd like your input. Okay. Yeah. Also, Onion Garden Computers. I should mention that I am more of a YouTuber than a streamer, and my YouTube channel is mostly like 95% focused on doing exactly what you just said. I basically look at configurators and stuff for a living over there. But that's my YouTube channel. I am, as far as I know, the only YouTuber that focuses on system integrators. But yeah, we look at SIs all the time on here. You can't post a link in chat though, so whisper it to me. Here. Nice. I haven't posted long form content on there for a while, other than like a video from Computex that was long form, some shorts. My 5070 review, which did not do well because I don't usually do straight up hardware reviewing. But there is my, you click on my name there, drop a whisper with the link, and I'll check it out. But yeah, you came across the one YouTuber that actually focuses on your industry. How about that? I'm hoping for 10 years, says Gary Lee Laster. Sounds like a good round number. Talk about luck. Absolutely. I shouldn't shake the table because it keeps shaking this thing, which really annoys me. I used to have this coming down from up top, but then I couldn't see my monitor. Starforge was your last real long form that I remember. Well, that was a PC unboxing and stress testing or shakedown. That was a stream. Just video production and posting. The last one was Pro Gamers Group, the giant Pro Gamers Group booth at Computex, because they sponsored my trip to Computex. So yeah. But I don't usually like to do long form content for events. People like to watch short form stuff of that. It didn't do well. It didn't do that well. But I warned them of that. I told them. But my guy over at PGG just wanted to help me make it to Computex, so they sponsored the video. And there's some amazing footage that I got in there. It's really nice. Sent, by the way. All right, cool. I suppose I could have guessed what that is. So, okay, before we look at it, can you tell me why Onion Garden Computers? Have you got are you a PC nerd with a green thumb? Is that what's up? Would also like to learn how to make a site as well. Might start making and selling PCs that way instead. Onion Knight from Final Fantasy VI. Oh, okay. Well, it's Onion Garden, though. But yeah, maybe. I don't know. If they follow AM4 the same way, it would be possible. Since AMD is now LGA, like Intel, support will be much easier. True. And it's a lot more pins than AM4. A lot more room to grow. All right, we'll go ahead and switch over. We're a couple using our knowledge trying to help people make sure they get the best value without getting ripped off. That's good. That's a good policy. Generally, I like that. Well, okay. Let's switch over. Let's take a look. I don't need to add in a little sound effect. I just did that. Okay, cute mascot. It is a cute mascot. Who drew that for you? Was that one of y'all? Onion comes from a joke run off my name IRL. I worked as a mechanic for 8 years, and my name is Orion. Looks like onion in cursive. That's great. Yep, very cute. Our mascot RGB, it's BEE by the way, was drawn by my girlfriend. She's a wonderful artist. Okay, so Unguarded Computers, who specialize in crafting custom PC builds tailored to your needs. With your gamer, designer, or professional, we will offer fully customizable options. Enhance your setup. Okay, I'm going to tell you the first note, and this is not just you. A lot of smaller SIs do this, and I always give the same advice. These pictures, I can tell you already. I'm going to go look and see if there are pictures of your builds. You didn't build any of these. Build them, take the pictures of them. They should be your photos. Particularly if this has stuff that your customers are not going to get. Like, hey, if you built this PC, I have a question for you. How is the motherboard getting any power? Because it's not. How is the GPU lit up? How is it getting power? It's not. Correct. Main thing is a money issue. I feel you. I understand. I would show then an empty case. I know that's not ideal, but it's not going to be. Now, there's another option. There is another option, okay? Another option is to put something right underneath the picture saying that it is a picture shown for demonstrative purposes only, or whatever, however you want to word it. Actual final product will be different. However you want to word that. That is a good cover your butt kind of thing. And it's also you being honest with your customers. You don't have to have all the money in the world and be able to build all these PCs right now. But when you sell one, before you ship it out, Picture of it. I noticed that too, lol. Yeah. This is a Sama picture. It's from their site, right? Don't worry. I got to tell you, there is a... the reason I urge people to get past this as soon as possible is because it puts them in the same category as Apex gaming PCs. You don't want to be doing anything Apex gaming PCs is doing. They are literally the worst company. So no AI art. Trust me, I will roast that to no end. And this is a bigger company. Trust me, this is a much bigger company, and they can't manage to take a picture of their own PCs. They cannot do it. The Scallion on our store page is one we did build. Okay. Just taking a peek here. 9800X 3D, 32 gigs, Trident Z5 Royal. Okay. 7900 XT, Sama 3021 white, MSI MAG A850GL white PSU, and a 2 terabytes. Thank you for having 2 terabytes in a system that's over 2K. That's my standard there. I would say though, I like the way the Royal looks, but does it have Expo? G-Skill is nice enough to say Trident Z5 for XMP and Trident Z Neo for their Expo memory. And same thing with their more affordable RAM as well, where you have Flare and, all that stuff. And that denotes whether it's Expo or XMP. I don't know about Royal, if it's both or not, but yeah. I guess you can collapse that. Okay. What does this claim to be used for? Some of the powerful parts ever designed for tech enthusiasts, professionals like body are committed to empowering your tech journey. Okay. I mean, it's a little bit of fluff right there. But that's fine. That's very common. Let's go back to store. Let's go to store. This is just me saying, hey, you have a little food on your face there. This apostrophe is not needed right here. I would just look at some of the capitalization and stuff like that. It's just a little bit of grammar stuff on here, which, CPU, CP, and U are all capitalized. GPU, all these are capitalized, and there's no apostrophe for that. Unless the CPU owns something and it's showing a possessive. But that's just editing. That's just editorial stuff. That's whatever. It's just grammar stuff. All right. PCs. PC is capitalized and there's no apostrophe in that. Unless the PC owns something. Or you're saying PC is, I guess. Well, that's just, it's whatever. Pre-built PCs. Let's see. Nobody likes someone who corrects anyone on grammar. I know, but this is your website. And I don't mind looking like a jerk if it helps in some way. Alucard, I don't like necessarily is when you're showing FPS numbers for specific games. Oh, ads. Okay, there's an ad. I'll finish that comment once the ad is done. Royal also has Neo. Okay. Actually, I can just look at that. Yeah, thank you. Okay. And you're back. Okay. Hey, there you go. Onion Garden, refresh the stream, and that way you won't. It might not stop showing you ads otherwise. Might think it was new socket update at end of life fire sale. Change platform after 2-3 years after AM7 comes out. So AM6 is going to get skipped. Okay, Gary. Okay, so what I was saying was, so earlier we were talking about the Trident Z5 Neo. It does exist. Thanks to Alucard for pointing that out. What you want for any AMD system is not going to be just Trident Z5 Royal. You want the Trident Z5 Royal Neo, which is, as you can see by the little icon here, it is designed to use Expo. So you don't want to go Trident Z5. You want Royal. You want Royal Neo if it's for AMD. So this is the one you built, the Seedling, from $560. Is that without a GPU? Oh, that's with no parts in it. Oh, we did it. Okay. Oh. Okay, the 2650 V4. All right. Well, we're going to talk about that. Let me take a look at the specs real quick. So I don't believe in using Xeon processors for a gaming PC. You're much better off going with an i3 or an i5 or lower end i5. You might test it and find that, oh, this isn't bad. This is fine. But there are other technologies. I think V4 was how long ago? Just to take a quick look at this. You see, I reviewed a PC that used a Xeon processor. It did not review well. So there are certain things, like let's talk about what's first off, it's discontinued. It was 2016. Okay. You're looking at DDR4 for your RAM, which isn't the worst, but what about PCIe? 3.0. PCIe 3.0. 2 generations back. I cannot endorse this. I cannot in any way endorse this. You're locking your customer into what if it's not already e-waste, it's gonna be very soon. And they, like, if you put a modern, like, what is an option for a graphics card? This goes up to a RX 6600 that is not PCIe Gen 3. Well, yeah, the thing is, if you show this as an option, someone might pick it. I'm just saying. I would look at an option that's going to be, if you want an Intel option, their stuff is, they have so many great options for budget CPUs. 6600 or 3060 is fine. I know that on PCIe Gen 3, you're getting the same bandwidth as 8 lanes of PCIe Gen 4. I get that, with 16 lanes of PCIe Gen 3. But I don't know the motherboard that's being used. And that was 2016. You're not getting motherboards with multiples of M.2 sockets on there. If it even it should have 1. But you're not necessarily going to have 3 or 4. So customer end storage upgrades, which if you've downloaded a game in the last, I don't know, 4 years, you know games are getting really ridiculous in size. I just don't recommend it. There's too many limitations. I'll change it then. I'm taking notes and we'll be making changes. Okay, I'm humbled by that, but thank you. I mean, honestly, I say this stuff because this is me. This is what I do in the videos. I look at different configurators, go stream of consciousness of what I feel are best practices. You're free to take that constructive criticism and throw it away if you want. I mean, it's your site, it's your business. But you are getting my feedback as someone who, again, does this for a living. This is perfect, actually, if you're cool with that. So this with you looking at this. Wait, what? Okay. If we go back to there's no option to go back to no GPU. So let's talk about this. The thing here that it said, where are we? From $560. That sounds great, and it looks nice on the website, but unless you plan to sell these without a GPU, it is not honest. Because as soon as I go here and I add a GPU of any kind, it raises that price, unless I missed something. Is there a cheaper? No, there's not going to be a cheaper graphic. So yeah, you can't actually buy it for that unless you choose to do it without a GPU. But now that I picked a GPU, I can't go back to not having one. So, 16 gigs and the Xeon. Okay, now I need to see what you're claiming this PC can do based on what you have I mean, I guess that you would call that a default spec. If you're saying it's from this, that's the default, right? Designed for the avid gamer. The white mid-sized gaming PC from Onion Garden Computers delivers on both performance and aesthetics. Using an all AMD setup. That's not what the listed price is doing, though. But this PC maximizes its performance for the price. With our commitment to empowering your tech journey with personal... Okay, then that's just going to be marketing stuff. Okay. I feel like you should emphasize that this is for the entry-level gamer. And that's not what any of this language is doing. This language is saying for someone who doesn't know. So here, okay. Let's back out real quick. I'm going to tell you what one of the most important things you can do as an up and coming system integrator. It's what you are. Boutique or not, whatever you might be, going for budget, doesn't matter. One of the most important things you can do is to remember that while you are a PC enthusiast who has experience, the majority of your customers are not, and you must be able to put yourself in their shoes and try to think about how they would shop on your site. What do I mean by that? Well, you know that you can change certain stuff. You understand maybe what this GPU can do, what that GPU can do. Your buyer probably does not. And their expectations might not match up with what they're buying if you don't make that abundantly clear. That's part of your job, is to help your customer understand what this PC can actually do. That's called qualifying your customer. And it is a very, very important thing because, like it or not, you want to build PCs for a living, but you also now have to be a salesperson. And one of the most important things a salesperson can do is qualify the customer, not over or undersell them. It's the Goldilocks thing. You got to get whatever's right for them. There have been people who have come in and said, hey, I want to do 1080p gaming. My budget is $5,000. And I'm like, whoa, back up. You ain't spending $5,000 on that. But also people who come in and say, I want to game at 4K. My budget is $1,100. And I'm like, I have to temper your expectations here. That's probably not going to happen. Considering that just the monitor for that is more than half of your budget. So, yeah. Absolutely, I'll be adjusting the description and adjust expectations. Hell yeah. I feel like that's probably the most helpful thing I've said to you so far. It's not any specific thing or stupid grammar stuff that I get nitpicky about. No. It's about how to approach your customer and really changing your mentality from enthusiast to what is a newbie going to think? How are they going to approach this? My IT career, most of it was front-facing, talking directly to the end user. So because whenever I would work for someone, and even when I did sysadmin stuff, I would still interface with the end users a lot because I've always just sort of prioritized figuring out how to explain stuff and not sound like a jerk and not sound like a know-it-all. How to break down certain things, right? Well, it's not something they teach you in IT school or in a PC building job or any of that. So it's unfortunately something that if you're running things yourself, you got to pick that up. You don't have a marketing person yet. So what I would prioritize for you would be figuring out a way to categorize what PC is for what. You want to just game at 1080p medium settings? This PC is for you. Do you want to game and stream? Well, guess what? We put a motherboard in this system with better I/O on it. You're spending a little extra on that, but if you want to stream, this is going to be better. Because what do you have to do when you stream? You got to hook up all of these things, all of the stream stuff, your capture cards. You got to put in, I want a second stream deck. Oh, you know what? I like the pedals, so I can just do stuff like this without using my hands. That's another USB port. And like I do, motherboard manufacturers, some are better about this, but a lot of motherboard manufacturers put I/O behind an arbitrary paywall, and it sucks. So you hunt down motherboards that have better I/O for the money. all that kind of stuff. And then you label that your streaming machine. No, not a 6-core CPU. Go for 8-core, 16 threads if you can. And no, not 16 gigs of RAM. The game's going to take up a bunch of that. If you want to game and stream, 32 is like the minimum. I've also spent a lot of time figuring out when someone says a certain use case. All right, I want to edit video. Okay, you need more CPU cores, more RAM. Capacity is king. RAM speed's not as important. Capacity is king. Cool. Oh, I want to edit photos. I want to use Photoshop. So give me a 9950X. No, actually, if you look at the benchmarks, 8-core Ryzen CPUs are king when it comes to Photoshop. I spend a lot of time obsessing over this stuff. So pick my brain anytime. Anytime you're like, hey, well, we want to have a streaming machine. I'll give you my thoughts on that, whatever. Or we want to have a machine for flight sims. Well, that also needs a lot of I/O, stuff like that. It's all those little things. Jake, I appreciate that. I'm good, though. This is the kind of stuff. I'm going to tell y'all something. I have done, not official and like contracted, but I have done sessions of this with not very small, like both small, medium, and in some cases, larger system integrators, where I do a consultation on their website and configurator. How much do I charge for this service? $0. Now, why is that? Because in the end, I mean, up front, it helps them. But in the end, it helps you, the person going there to buy something. I will do it for any system integrator at any time to make their company more welcoming to newbies, flow better, make more sense. I'm 1 foot in the industry, 1 foot out of the industry, being in the position that I am. I'm 1 foot in the one majority foot in the customer side, but I have gotten into the industry. I know most system integrators now and the people that work there and the people that run them. And I've done consultations for these to try and help. We have workstations I'd like you to look at too. I'll do that. Absolutely. As I said, I'm here for the criticism. We need the help. I used to be a mechanic, not a salesman. I'm still learning. Super helpful. Hey, I love to hear that. That makes me happy. We'd probably have to put those descriptions in the drop-down somehow. I don't know how that Shopify BigCommerce allow you to change actual product descriptions based on options. Well, I mean, that's the thing, is you can have a different SKU if it's for a different purpose. You could even categorize, okay, all right, I have these 8 SKUs, right? Well, you could have one of them is for just gaming. One of them is for yada, yada. You can have them, the version of that. This is the streaming seedling. Although the seedling is your entry-level system, so it might not be appropriate for that. But you get what I'm saying. That's a back-end issue. Wait, what? What did I miss? Yeah, but this thing is have that be already placed options before changing specs. That's a back-end issue. Not much control over that because this is probably a Shopify site. Yeah, Shopify is a little limiting. But there are other SIs that use Shopify. Don't worry about that. Like, there's tricks to it. Oh, it's a Wix site. Okay. And if business explodes, there would be more recognition for Bray by helping the companies as well. Alucard, it's under the table. I don't ask for any credit on that. Another thing is I can't really be affiliated other than affiliate codes. I can't really be partnered, I should say, with a system integrator. I can collaborate with them, and I guess that's how that might be framed. But the furthest I'll usually go is doing a collab Braythorn system. For that, you guys know it's something I signed off on and I put my stamp of approval on and all that. Celidus, what's going on? Welcome. I just want to game at 1440p, but I see how difficult it can be. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. What's up, Tech Blacksmith? How's it going? Bray dropping wisdom pearls for SIs tonight. I'm soaking it up. Few things give me as much joy. This is a tough industry. Hardware margins are razor thin and only shrinking thanks to tariffs. Although who knows where those are at now. This is an industry of my fellow enthusiasts who just want to build cool stuff for customers and enjoy that. I've been building PCs for 25 years. I love it. It's one of the things that makes me the most happy. So if I can empower some people to do that, hell yeah, that sounds awesome. I don't know. Whatever. I get kicks out of it. It's whatever. I was meaning more with affiliation or collaboration as well as just more growth to your channel by popularity. I honestly wish I was more focused on growth, because then I wouldn't have plateaued as hard as I did, but it's all good. The growth will come once pre-built rebuilt is off the ground. Okay, I was going to say something and I forgot what it was. I interrupted myself to do that. What the hell? But no, if you want, and I've done this before. If you want, we can also hop on a call at some point and just discuss some of that stuff. I have done that, and it is fun for me. I have a good time with that. Like, the more you're seen among system integrator sites, the more interest it would direct to learning more from you. That I get from doing collab systems, and those are a lot of fun. But not every SI can do those. I've been dancing around that with like Stints build forever, but it's just never quite the right time, and especially not now with like tariffs and GPU shortages that we got through and all that stuff. Because then he'll be biased without hurting his paycheck from the affiliate company. Oh, benefits everybody. I mean, I do my best to not be biased. I do tend to sometimes find the path of least resistance, though. Been watching you about the time you started streaming, and I've learned a lot. Sedulous, that's awesome. Thank you for being around for that long. I appreciate it. Like Linus, but better. I'm not better at doing what Linus does than he is. There's no way. First off, Linus has built more PCs than me and nearly anybody. Dude has built like probably thousands of PCs, okay? Like, it's crazy. Not anybody. People who work at system integrators that are high volume have built more PCs than Linus. But I'm saying, when it comes to edutainment, Linus has me beat. We'll see how I can do with pre-built, rebuilt. But the problem is, they want to sponsor a couple of those episodes. So it's like he's part of that anyway. Fun fact, I don't know if I told you this, but when I ran into him at the tech mall in Taiwan, I got a chance to actually off camera talk with him about pre-built, rebuilt, because it's all happening through Colton, who handles all that stuff. Them sponsoring a couple episodes. But I got to talk to him about it, and he was like, yeah, we would sponsor that. Yeah, all right. Yes. So he's pretty stoked about it. I got to get on this. I'm not about to disappoint Papa Linus. Ain't happening. No, the bias was you. It was if you partnered with an SI company. Yeah, can't partner with it. Right. Love to learn how to make a Wix site or some other site to sell my builds there. I wonder how Squarespace is with that. And Linus has gone from sales to product management before becoming a YouTuber. And you can see it. You can see it. He can definitely sell or unsell a product. PCs and cars run in similar tech circles. Yeah, there are a few PC-centric content creators I've met who are not also motorheads, like me. I'm into cars too. I have been for the longest. It's just when cool things do cool stuff, you're going to be into it. I just need to become more interested in making one and creating one. What you could do, a la carte, is you can use it as an additional resource for your Java builds, because Java probably limits what you can do on their site for your listings. You can be like, click here and have your own descriptions and photos and all kinds of cool elements to really show off your PC and set it apart from other builds on Java. Squarespace, from my experience, is a bit sketchy about payment methods, or so I thought when I tried using it. Really? I hadn't heard anything about that. Oftentimes, the biggest hurdle is finding a good way to handle how you want to do your business, as far as customization or just putting a single config product. What's up, AJ? Were your ears burning? I was just talking about Stints build. Were your ears burning? You got to tell me. And yes, Onion Garden Computers, don't be surprised if you see other SI people in here. They do come in to hang out. You were here for it. Okay. All right. You know how long I've been, like, once I decided I'm going to do one, whatever build, I'm going to do collab build with this one. I'll move on to the next one. Y'all have been like, okay, I want to do with them next for like the last 2 collab builds that I've done. And I'm just never the right time. That's one thing I can do for sure, as well as an option for helping with custom PC consultation. Alucard, I hope that I'm not taking away from that business. I know Like, if the number of people who I've helped out on stream since I started instead had gone to like Zach for his paid consultation thing, he would have made bank off of that. He's doing fine, obviously. But there's other content creators who charge for it, and I always feel a little weird about that when I know they do it. That is one thing I can do for sure, yeah. But yeah, not a bad idea, and it was just right at the top of the coconut for you. There you go. Also, let me just say, building and maintaining your website is a lot of work, lol, 100%, especially a configurator, which I noted is not really here. You don't have a configurator, but that's not a surprise on Ingarnet Computers. That is very complex, especially if you try to have a compatibility filter going on. Good Lord. So people can't buy a 265K with an X870 motherboard. Yeah. When I first looked at Power GPU, ask me how much I love configurators. AJ, how much do you love configurators? Hold on. How much do you love configurators? There you go. Request granted. Yeah, I want to try to put one in, but it's currently way over my head. Yeah. And trust me. So what I was saying was, when I first evaluated on System Integrators Weekly, when I first evaluated Power GPU, powerhouse that they are now, back then, all they had was a form you could fill out for a consultation. That's it. I urged them. And then I started talking to Jesse directly. I was like, dude, put a configurator up there. What are y'all doing? You're big enough for this. Your socials are crazy. You're doing great there. Throw a config. They did it because I hassled them about it. And now it's a really great configurator. Constant screams. That is a stressful short sentence right there. I would do a consultation for free just to discuss with them what they want before initiating payment. Okay, so I'm not necessarily hurting business. Okay. Basically, so you're not doing paid consultations. All right. And I don't think that's, by the way, a sketchy thing to do. I like doing this, the PC matchmaking thing, because no one else is doing this on Twitch. And also it's fun. It's way more hype than, I feel like it's more hype than it sounds. More or less like Roby did back in the day. Right, okay. He still does it too, to be clear. I do it as a build consultation via Calendly, which is, by the way, one of my least favorite names for a product, Calendly, or service. It does not roll off the tongue. There's a couple WordPress plugins. I think Shopify has some as well. Not sure about Squarespace. I hate that service. So many issues with that site and my company. Ooh. Tanmay, what's going on? Welcome. I'm sorry if I missed you coming in earlier. Yay, marketing qualified leads versus sales qualified leads. Yeah, qualifying your customer is so important. And I know I already went over it, but you have to understand that when you qualify your customer properly, it's a better experience for them, leading to a better experience for the company, and it's better all around when the customer is led to the right product based on their input. I say led to it, but really that's one of salesperson's jobs. When it's a technical product, you're the person with the know-how. You're supposed to get information from them. That's what I'm doing when I'm PC matchmaking. I'm qualifying you as a customer for that purchase, making sure that this is the right thing for you. Probably this is what I think would be the right thing for you. It's crazy. Alucard, true, but they're supposed to be dropping some new ones with a more matte finish. Really, Michelle? Because Alucard mentioned that the Royal RAM is nice, but a fingerprint magnet. I think that the matte finish would look sick, though. I think I would prefer that. Robert Fixit says, same mechanic turn to PC person. It's a curve for sure. For sure, yeah. PCs and cars running similar tech. That's when that came out. Lots of PC guys are into cars. We just want the pretty shiny things with all the nice lights and equipment. And power, Alucard. And power. Me love me some PC part picker compatibility filter. Get off WordPress ASAP. That's a dumpster fire to keep secure. Well, there's WordPress plugins for Wix, it seems. My second job is a cabinet salesman, and more times than not, we get people that come in just for a free design just to go somewhere else. So just a heads up there. Oh, I've been there. Yeah. Can you look at our streaming workstation or our music creation workstation? Music creation workstation, yes. I've worn a lot of hats, okay? So I did some amateur music production. Let's see what we got here. So pro editor, pro artist, pro streamer, and pro audiophile. Is pro audiophile for music production? Because you absolutely missed an opportunity to call this the producer. You're welcome. Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! I'm sorry. That was brilliant. Okay, I'm straight up appreciating my own stuff there. Meet the streamer, your ultimate companion for flawless streaming and supreme multitasking. 12600KF processor. I know. You're going to use GPU hardware encode. But if it's anything for any creative task, you do not put an F SKU in there. No. As Alucard said, because I say this all the time, get the F out of there. For any creative task, you do not know what your end user is going to be doing, and you want to equip them for any circumstance. And there can, like, 12th gen had some great encode on it. It did. Anyway, moving on. Quick sync for video editing. There are streamers that do some of their own editing too. Quick sync for video editing is one of the main purposes to have a non-F SKU if you're going Intel. RTX 5070. Okay, so what is it? Gen 4. Not what? Gen 7? Is it Gen 7? Hold on. Gen 7 NVENC. Now, what gen are we on with NVENC? 50 series. Ninth generation NVENC. BR Paradox. What's going on, buddy? Is that a first-time chat, BR Paradox? Why is that a first-time chat? What is going on with that? What's going on? You've been in here before, I thought. How's it going? So yeah, 9th gen NVENC in 50 series cards. Probably on YouTube. Fair enough. Generous 64 gigs of DDR5. I like that. I do like that. I really do. If you have a very complex stream or you're running like, oh, I'm streaming Escape from Tarkov, you're cooked if you have 32 gigs of RAM. Yeah, that's a very RAM-hungry game. But other stuff, too. Let's see. You can tackle store your content on the lightning-fast 1 terabyte Gen 4. 1 terabyte for an under 2K system. Okay. That's fine. That is fine. But what I want to know is what motherboard is in here and can you add storage? Because one of the professional things you want to do as a professional streamer is likely going to be local recording. Did you see the Bose speaker PC we did? I did not. The thought process is that they get the performance without having to get RGB or a PC selling for gaming. I can understand that. Consider this, though. Some streamers like to have their PC in the shot. They like to have it showing in with RGB. But I get where you're coming from. I do. It would be a Z790. Okay. Is it always going to be the same one? Is this a dedicated stream PC or combo game plus stream? That is a good question, and that was one I was going to be getting to if I could see more specs. I figured, AJ, that because it was 64 gigs, that it was a single system. I'll message you a pic on Discord. It was just revealed a few hours ago. Okay, now I got to open Discord. not there. Yo, look at this. There's a collab with Amp and Kai Cenat. Damn, you with Kai? All right. You're cooking. This is crazy, though. Okay. I gotta know. Did you just put an ITX mounting plate motherboard tray that's like a removable one? Because there's some... Like you can, Fantex has a removable, just by itself, an ITX motherboard tray because they had cases where you could mount it, so you could have a dual PC system. Did you just get one of those mounted in the case? Is this a case that you put that was able to fit inside the Bose speaker? I gotta know. Ryzen 9 7900, 5070. B850i, so it's ITX, of course. Thermalright AXP90X47 low-profile CPU cooler. That's why the non-X CPU. I get you. I see you. I see you. Arpit, I get it. That's going to work. That's going to be much more capable of running on a low-profile cooler than an X7900X. 4 terabytes NVMe. Nice. 4 terabytes in there. 64 gigs DDR5 6000 and a 750. That's adequate for a 5070. No, it was just a Bose speaker that we gutted, then just drilled a bunch of mounting brackets. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, oh yeah, that's true. Actually, AJ said the truth here. 14,000 megabyte per second read speeds. That's going to be a Gen 5 SSD, not a Gen 4. So that's one thing. See, I don't catch everything. That's what you're for, chat. But damn. All right. Wait, hold on. Are you going to be selling these or no? You're just promoting the project, No, okay. All right. And no picture of Kai in this? Come on. I know you, yeah, come on. Bose just contracted us for it. Oh, okay. All right. Y'all didn't get to go hang out or do any of that. All right. Hey, that's cool. He's going to love it. I will say this. I'm like, Kai gets so much dope stuff, but I think this is going to stand out. Reminds me, I just put a 12900K and 4070 inside a CRT with a 165 hertz monitor. Sick. Pew Pew says, I bought a PC you put together for me last week, and the Micro Center 9800X 3D bundle you recommended is $100 more expensive today under their 4th of July sale. Thanks, man. So that's good, right? Did I do a good thing? Why is it more expensive under the 4th of July sale? Pew Pew. I would also take a look at Odoo. Their stuff is better than WordPress and easy on the budget. I'm not affiliated, but it's just my experience. Okay, interesting. I will say this though, Tanmay, as I've done website stuff, a little bit of website stuff, not much. I'm not very good at it, but I was not. It would have taken a lot for me to move to a different platform once I'd made as much progress as like all the pages that are here. But yeah, really quick, Onion Garden. Is this designed to be a single PC setup for gaming and streaming? I will say this, if you're going to be selling anything that has Pro in the name, list the specs in full. Your other systems have that. But like, even if you haven't done one yet, Figure it out. Do your PC part picker list. Do whatever. Figure out what you would put in there. Because you have some things here, right? But I don't know. I can't look up. I'm going to tell you something real quick. The one thing I obsess about, it is meant to be. Okay. One thing I obsess about when I'm looking at a motherboard for a streaming system is the PCIe layout, right? Like the PCIe layout, block diagram, whatever you want to look at. Because let's talk about capture cards. I like internal capture cards. It's a little bit cleaner on the desk setup. I feel like the communication can be a little faster depending on the interface you're talking about. But a PCIe capture card, even the really high-end ones, they don't require PCIe Gen 4 or 5 or any of that. It's usually PCIe Gen 2. However, some of the higher-end ones require 4 lanes of PCIe Gen 2. Now, some of them might be able to be like, oh, I'm in PCIe Gen 4. I just need 1 lane of that. That's the same as 4 lanes of PCIe Gen 2 in terms of bandwidth. I'm good. But not all of them are going to work just right in that way. Also, you need to know if it's even going to fit. If it's an X1 slot, but it's sized as X1, you can't even use that. You can't plug it into that. So, and then you have stuff like, oh, I want to put in also a USB PCIe expansion card. So I have more USB ports because I don't know what motherboard's in here. I don't know if the I/O is terrible or amazing. So a quick and cheap option is to add in a PCIe USB expansion card. Well, if they're trying to put that in the secondary X16 and that would set the GPU to X8, they might not like that. Now for a 5070, 8 lanes of PCIe Gen 4 or 5 should be okay, but it might not be. I don't know. And what slots are where? Or adding a dedicated encoder card? Yes. So when it comes to some of these systems, the music production system, it's just as important to have those PCIe expansion cards. In the editing system, not really. Video editing? Nah, not really. It's not as important unless you want to put in M.2 expansion cards, but you'll at least have the bottom X16. You don't necessarily need to have internal capture cards for a video editing machine. No. But for streaming and music production, PCIe can be really important. Because in music production, you have PCIe cards that can be critically important to even allow certain devices to work, audio interfaces, things like that. Some of them require certain things. And then it'll need it'll need a USB key or something like that. It is a rabbit hole that I chose not to dive down, other than to realize how complex a music editing workstation can actually be. So we're going to take a look at that real quick and see what you got here. I may have already given you quite enough to work with. I do like that you chose a case that potentially could have 5¼ inch optical drives if need be for a music production workstation, if they got to rip some samples, I guess. But yeah, it's there. It's there if they need it. I do know, though, that this is a pretty cheap case for a $1,500 PC, but that's okay. Okay, I'm gonna do something controversial here. Oh, sorry. There's the case. Here you go. I'm gonna do something controversial here. I'm gonna recommend to you. It's not that controversial. I'm gonna veto 14th gen Intel. I know that they've upgraded the microcode and claimed that it's fixed, but not enough time has passed to really know if that's the truth. Yeah, I got it before the increase. I just double checked because I thought it missed out, but it's more expensive now. Pew pew, that's crazy, but that's great. That is awesome. Has Kelt been in lately? Asked Gary. Kelt has not been in lately. I imagine with everything that was going on with tariffs and all that stuff, 50 series stuff, all that, he's probably been pretty busy. It's understandable. I understand. But yeah, Core Ultra 200S. Arrow Lake would be better here. Yeah. Plus, you're getting lower power draw and lower temps with better productivity tasks, more powerful efficiency cores, and you don't have to worry about microcode nonsense yet. Who knows? Maybe that'll eventually be a thing, but supposedly everything has been fine in that regard. That takes time to figure out. I like the 2 terabytes for an under $2,000 system. That is generous. That's nice. I like that. I would want plus the inclusion of the SMSL SU1 MQA MQA-CD DAC. Okay, sorry, it's still echoey. I see what you're trying to do. I would. Okay, if someone's getting a music production machine, if they're new, this might be ideal for them, or an overwhelming thing because they're not quite ready for that, or whatever. Or if they're not new to music production, they might already have stuff like this or have something in mind. If you do something like this, are there internal versions of this? I haven't really looked into DAX, honestly. Like I said, it was amateur music production, but there's not enough info as to what this is on your page, but I would make it an option. If you're working with APOS, whatever, or whoever makes this, SMSL, I guess. This is probably just a sales website. I don't know, honestly. If you're working with them and you get great prices on it, maybe you can offer it at retail price, or I don't know, not lower than retail. But from what I know, internal DACs are not as good as external and can add noise issues. That's fair enough. But I would have this as an option, like a starter pack. If you're new to music production, we have a starter pack that can really help you out. Like we got this this name that just rolls right off the tongue, SMSL SU1 MQA Audio DAC. You can offer that. I wouldn't make it a default because they might find that they don't need it, or they have something better, or they want something better, or whatever, you know? Makes every listening experience exquisite. Oh, so hold on a second. This is the audiophile PC, not the music. This is for music production or music listening to? Because you said there was a music production one. Let me make sure I read that correctly. Oh, by the way, Arpit, I'm sorry. I was looking at this is a newer SI. I was looking at their website for them when you came in. My bad, dude. But sick PC, by the way. Awesome PC. Both music production and editing. You made the joke about the producer. Right. That's what I thought it was. So when I see audiophile, though, that doesn't scream out to me making music. It screams out listening to music. And when I saw this, the DAC is for listening, right? It's an amp. Well, not an amp. That's why there's an amp and a DAC. It's a digital audio converter, right? Discover personalized computer solutions that elevate your tech journey with the audiophile at Onion Garden Computers. Okay. Producers, comedic gold, LMFAO. I'll just need a little bit of royalty every time we sell one. That's all. I would think the audio enthusiast or something, but that still does not tell me production. Still doesn't tell me editing or making music, mixing, mastering, none of that. So there's a 1 terabyte Gen 4 SSD and an additional 2 terabyte. That's awesome. I like that, and it makes a lot of sense. However, I will say this. I wouldn't call 32 gigs of RAM for music production hefty at all. Samples, and once say okay, so back when I was doing music production, I would do some modern orchestral stuff. There's a couple tracks I had that had like 50 instruments, one that had like 74. And as it's playing through, it has to load all of these samples because all of those notes, those MIDI notes and all those things are playing samples of real recorded instruments and all that. They take up so much RAM if you're making very complex music. This is where you want to have an option for them for, say, hey, this has a totally, this has a good amount of RAM with 32 gigs, but you can option up to 64 gigs if you plan on having very complex productions that require a lot of samples to be loaded at the same time. Why Deucer? Like D-E-U... No, it's Deucer. D-U-C-E-R. Like producer? Why are y'all spelling it wrong? Why y'all doing that? AJ got it, and so did Easy Jake Oven. Yeah, it's a fractal case. No, it's okay. I don't know. I just don't know why AJ said I would spell it Deucer. Why would you do that? That doesn't make sense. That takes away from the point where it's like, hey, this is for producers. Here you go. Music production... That still doesn't scream music production to me. It's just producer. There's producers in video. There's video production, music production, all that. By the way, thanks for reminding me to get some pre-configured workstations linked. Lol. You're welcome. Add more options for this PC, but I wasn't sure which case to use. Mainly wanted to be able to have the 5.25-inch bays. Okay, in that case, they're still doing the fractal pop air, right? Do that. That has an option for a 5.25-inch bay at the bottom. Okay, AJ. All right. Drop. Okay, that's great for a system. You're just trying to sabotage a competing system integrator. That is not cool. Fractal pop air would be perfect. Absolutely. Looks more premium. And if you don't put a 5.25-inch bay there, you would never know that it was built for one. So that's cool. Has a little drawer. Has a little drawer for like, I don't know. If you're like 75 years old, you could put some Werther's originals in there, I guess. I just said what I would do. Fair enough. Pro audio production. Yeah, that could do it. It's just you lose the Okay, what you could do is have a small blurb under this, the Pro Artist, for use with blank, blank, and blank. Adobe Illustrator or other art production programs. The Pro Editor for robust video editing, which we're going to take a look at this because I do a lot of that. So Pro Streamer is clear what it is. But if you're going to make them all have some kind of tagline underneath, then there you could put built for a single PC gaming and streaming setup. There you go. And Pro Audio production would be, well, see, Tanmay, they have a naming convention here. It's the Pro something. And then under here for music production, mixing and mastering, whatever. The artist is for graphic modeling and 3D modeling. Got it. Okay. Let's look at the editor real quick. I know more about that. Okay, 14900K is a good start, but I'll tell you, it has been left in the dust by the way cheaper, even 265K on the 285K. So let's, I actually have this. Let's see. Let's do this one. Adobe Premiere Pro. Well, there's Photoshop. Adobe Premiere. But this is what I was talking about earlier. Photoshop, what dominates up here? 9700X. Now, the 9950X 3D, catching up there, but 9700X being on top is significant. It's good to know. Puget Bench for Premiere Pro. Core Ultra 9 285K. The 14900K is nowhere on here. Now, if we back up and I go to here, let's go here and do this one. This is going to have more about Intel. $14900K is actually, that's Photoshop. My bad. Premiere Pro. 14900K is still good, but it has been surpassed by the Core Ultra 9 285K with way better power draw and temperatures. But here's the thing. Think about this. The 265K is hundreds of dollars less than the 285K, and it beats the 14900K. I said it back when they first launched, and after about a month of those being out, the 265K is the GOAT of Core Ultra 200S. It's only missing 4 efficiency cores off the 285K. 4 efficiency cores. That's all you're losing. 4% performance difference for like a 40% cost decrease. You can look at core numbers if you want, but this is what matters to your customer. They're not PC nerds like we are. What matters to them is the results they get. And if you showed them, hey, look, you can get the Core Ultra 7 for this price, or the Core Ultra 9. This is what Puget Bench got in their results. Is it worth the extra $280 or $300 or whatever it is? Then they get to choose. But of course, that complicates things. And the simpler you can make things for your end users, especially as a smaller system integrator, usually the better. So, yeah, 4% performance difference in that benchmark. But AJ, when it comes to content creation, Puget Bench is kind of the go-to. It is. Yeah. Now let's look at DaVinci Resolve. In DaVinci Resolve, the results go crazy, and they're very weird. The 265K is nowhere near the top anymore, but it is cheaper than every CPU above it, except maybe the 14700K. But here, 9950X is king. But 285K is right there with it. The differences are very minimal. Multi-core doesn't help in Premiere either. You're just going to use a GPU to handle the transcoding and rendering. But then again, you do want QuickSync. Outlaw of Torn, what's going on? It's going well. Had to refresh stream for audio sync issues. Sorry about that. I'm thinking of just using the Core Ultra 9 because it's better in Puget. Okay. I mean, AJ said a 4% difference. That sounds about right to me. Price to performance, it just depends. I mean, this is your highest end, your most expensive pro system. Appropriately so. Video editing is very demanding. So if the price is about right, then yeah, just do a lateral move price-wise to the Core Ultra 9. But to some customers, especially people who are just trying to get into video editing, it might make a big difference. Off topic, but sort of on topic, Onion Garden, I do have a question for you. Have you been keeping up with the leaks for Nova Lake? If you haven't been, I have potential good news and potential very bad news. I know Onion Garden, if you were using Shopify, they allow you to have, I think, like 3 or 4 drop downs, and like that's it. But you can make it the most important things. Outlaw of Torn, I was looking at the iBuyPower PCs at Best Buy, and they look pretty good. Get them from iBuyPower instead if possible. If not possible, and you have like a Best Buy credit card, I get it. But that's usually the only reason to go with a third-party seller. They will be spec'd down from a similar system at a similar price from iBuyPower because Best Buy has to get their cut, and iBuyPower still has to make a profit. So that usually is paid for by lower-end components. How many cores is 265K? 20 cores. It is 8 performance cores and 14 efficiency. It was 14? No, not 14. Hold on. 12. 12 efficiency cores. So it's 8 performance cores, 12 efficiency cores, whereas the 285K is 8 performance cores, 16 efficiency cores. I still can't get over Producer. I actually think that would bang. Well, it doesn't really explain what it is, unfortunately. It was funny, though. Which is why I'm thinking about using LGA 1700. Okay. Wix allows for 1,000 different options max. That's a lot of options, but if you mean across your whole website, that's actually limiting. Wait, I was thinking 245K. Yeah, you were. It's okay. I'm so out of touch with the website creators, but how's GoDaddy doing? That's hosting. That's hosting. So, like, if you want to get your domain, you can get it through GoDaddy. No, per product. Well, okay, then that's a lot. Thank you, Wix. Great advice, Outlaw of Torn. That's what I do. I've only given advice that was not great a few times, and hopefully that's not going to happen. It happens sometimes. I'm a human being, but I'm glad that this was great advice. I'm going to put my hand down. What am I, Ludwig over here? He waves. He also does a thumbs up. Okay. Okay. So here, the leaks for Nova Lake. We'll go over it again real quick. Apparently, here's the bad news first. LGA 1854. After one generation, LGA 1851 is going to be end of line. Intel has leveled up to Ultra Instinct Intel. And they've gone from 2 generations of CPUs per socket to 1, apparently. Don't count 14th gen. They called it a refresh, and that's exactly what it was. That wasn't a full gen. They shouldn't have called it 14th gen. Anyway, I need to posture check myself because my back is hurting. I'm gonna lean back a bit. Okay, so let's even is that on? Let's turn that off. Zoom in a bit. Okay, so there is the bad news. 3 pins. Apparently, they got to have those 3 pins going from LGA 1851 to 1854. From what I heard, they're also talking about releasing another 1700 CPU. Sure, they might take a page out of AMD's book. That'd be great. I would hope that they would release more LGA 1851 CPUs because that's terrible. One generation sucks. But anyways, no, they're looking at the leak said apparently, potentially, Core Ultra 9, 52 cores. 52. Great sound effects. Good job, mate. 52 cores. I think it was 42 for the Core Ultra 7. Trying to copy Threadripper. But yeah, but this is not... this is not Threadripper. This is consumer desktop CPU. Not HEDT. 16 plus 30, so 16 performance cores. Thank you, AJ. 16 performance cores, 32 efficiency cores, and 4 LPEC or LEC, low power efficiency cores, which is what I thought efficiency cores were already. But as you might know, efficiency cores in Arrow Lake were beefed up. So they're like OG efficiency cores. Outlaw of Torn, is Intel really that bad for gaming? If it's 1080p, they'll be beat out by X3D every time, Outlaw of Torn. But a lot of people are moving to 1440p, and 4K monitors are cheaper than they've ever been. Of course, that's how tech should work. So a lot of people are gaming at higher than 1080p. So it doesn't. The CPU matters a lot less at any resolution above 1080p, unless you know you're playing a game that is CPU bound, like some RTS games. Your Microsoft Flight Simulator, stuff like that. Then the CPU becomes more important. But anyways, I digress. Sorry, Jay. I now have to send Jay $5 because I said I digress. Anyway, now you just have to check the 1% lows on the games you play. They're oh, we got an ad break. All right, whatever. I'm gonna relax for a little bit. I've been hunched over because this has been so intense, like going over this, but it's been fun. Oh yeah, your sub. That's right. I'll have to see. Thank you, Alucard, again. You've given 2 gift subs in this one stream. I appreciate you. I'll have to see the price to know if the new gen will actually be tangible for selling on our website. Not trying to make everything stupidly priced. Well, when you think about it, if you're looking at like a nearly $3,000 video editing system, I think that you may be able to shift some things around to make that work. Let's look at the other specs on that, though. 3 tiers of core types. What is Intel smoking? That scheduler is going to struggle. Tame, I will say that the hybrid architecture scheduler was pretty good, and they only made it better. So I'll say that it might be fire. It might be great. Who knows? Say what you want about 12th through 14th gen, but the scheduler was good, and it only got better. If you make money with the PC, you're likely to spend more anyways. Let's focus on the fact, Onion Garden, that you do call these pro. That means professional. That means you're making money off of this, or your goal is to make money off of this. So for 2730, you're looking at, okay, the 14900K, 128 gigs of DDR5 RAM. Be sure to not tell us the frequency or cast latency, by the way. Make sure you don't tell us the frequency. I'm being sarcastic, by the way. Now the storage is great. 1 terabyte Gen 4 main drive, 4 terabyte Gen 4 secondary drive. You've looked into what video editing requires. Storage is a major factor. Also, I would focus on a motherboard that has Thunderbolt. If you're going Intel, there are motherboards out there that are Intel that don't have Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt can be super helpful for external storage for video editing systems. There you go. Let's see. Breathtaking. Okay, 7900 XTX. I don't know how I just noticed this. But when it comes to video editing, NVIDIA has the edge. And so you're kind of losing that here. Heck, while we're up here, hold on. Assets, here we go. So let's look at Premiere Pro. And the 7900 XTX is down here. Underneath 4070 Ti Super. 5070 Ti is one of the best values here if you can get a decent price on it, by the way. That's usually what I would recommend for an entry-level one. But NVIDIA owns this chart. They absolutely own when it comes to Premiere Pro. Radeon barely has a hat in this race, if that's a phrase. I was trying to keep the price lower but allow for good performance. The thing is, you can usually get, for the same price, you can probably get a 5070 Ti. And it's way better. You got to make sure that you are doing the legwork on this stuff. If it looks like it might be good, maybe it is, but that's not the whole story. You know what I mean? Now, hold up. Let's back it up. We're going to go and look at DaVinci Resolve, which has been gaining more and more traction. And here, it's the same thing. Okay. Never mind. Ghost Poner 87. Well, the 9070 does have ray tracing architecture, as does Intel now. Ghost Poner, Radeon has had ray tracing since 6000 series. They have consistently been, because they were late to the game on ray tracing, one full generation behind on hardware accelerated ray tracing. They've had it for 3 generations now. They're getting caught up, but they will never catch up because NVIDIA is going to keep being a full generation ahead of them. And it's not just that. It's also their direct work with some of these software studios. It's been the longest running thing where you have drivers specifically for creating with NVIDIA. You can get NVIDIA Studio drivers when you go to your NVIDIA software, the NVIDIA app. You can get NVIDIA Studio drivers or GeForce game ready drivers. NVIDIA just owns this category, unfortunately. When it comes to encoding, for encoding, you can get AV1 encoding on Intel, AMD, or NVIDIA GPUs. That's great. Get yourself an A380 for a dedicated AV1 encoder. Sure. But like, for content creation, I hate to say it, I don't like to feed the green machine, okay? I don't think NVIDIA needs more money. But what matters is the end product for your end customer. The final product for your end customer is what matters and what it can do. So, we just got to speak the truth. Our own preferences don't matter. Okay, lol, okay, 5070 Ti seems like a good option here, but I'll see how bad 5080 prices are getting and have that be a possibility. I think with them having matching VRAM, yeah. However, have you seen the leaks of the super cards? Because NVIDIA is finally like, oh, wait, whoa, hold on. You guys wanted VRAM? We didn't know. You haven't been saying it for years. 5070 Super is leaked to be coming with 18 gigs of VRAM. 5070 Ti Super and 5080 Super both getting 24. 18 gigs of VRAM on a 5070. Entry-level video editing is going to benefit from that. AI tasks are going to hugely benefit from it. All that's, it's crazy. 3D design, everything. What's up, Jakey? How's it going? AMD needs an $8 billion grant like Intel got. Fair. Gary, have a good one. Have a good evening. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. I hope they make a 5090 Ti like the 3090 Ti. Peter, I'm going to show you why they don't need to. And it's right here. Look at the rest of this chart. Yeah, there's a jump right here. Look at the rest of this chart and how close it is. That's what the 5090 is, and most of them are an average of $2,800 to $3,000. They already have a 5090 Ti. It's called the RTX Pro 6000. That is the 5090 Ti. And it is $10,000. I'm doing all right. But yeah, the 5090 Ti is the the RTX Pro 6000. That's what it is. There is no room for a 5090 Ti in the consumer space. Or 5090 Super. 9070 XT does seem like a major jump for AMD, though. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't beat the 7900 XTX in a lot of games. And the reason is, it's a 700 class card, essentially. Like the 7700 XT, but there's a non-XT and whatever. They purposely stated, they outright stated and purposely chose to not do a high-end card. We do not have a 9000 series 7900 XTX or even 7900 XT. They better get me a 9080 XT before I got to build a new PC. Hang on a second. Nope, didn't mean to do that. Meant to do this. Gaming, streaming, content creation, video editing. Hey, Jay. What did I just tell you? What did I just show you? What am I doing here? Why am I talking? NVIDIA owns video editing. They own content creation. It is going to be certifiably better to get NVIDIA. Why are you looking for a 9080 XT? They don't want to make that. Don't gaslight them into making this. They wouldn't listen. They won't listen. Yeah, but AMD owns Linux. Okay, this is not based on Linux. This is a Windows-based system. Now everything gets turned on its head with Lightroom Classic. Who cares? Photoshop is where? Oh, they didn't do Photoshop in this one. I forgot. Unreal Engine. There you go. Oh, what? What? It's all NVIDIA? What? What? NVIDIA realized we need VRAM. Surprise Pikachu. Yeah, I'm sure the pricing is going to be perfect /S. Yeah. I'd love to see cost to performance charts if those exist. I don't see that. They don't do that. You know why? They don't do that because the GPU market has been way too volatile for them to make a chart and have it be relevant 3 days later. So apologies for that, but it's an industry thing, binary theory. Yeah, cost constantly changes. There you go. I did say my use cases were going to be a pain in the ass. You're making it that because you're like, if you want to go AMD, I'm not, you know your stuff. I'm not going to stop you. But if you're going to ask me, I'm going to answer. NVIDIA's, remember, sanity check, right? Sanity check. NVIDIA's all the business use cases under their thumb. They do because they did a good job of focusing on that. Now for gaming, price to performance, it's AMD. Of course. Of course it's AMD. Ah, my back is killing me. I don't know why. Oh. I need better lumbar support. This chair is just not doing it for me. No 9090 XT or XTX. I feel they shot themselves in the foot not going high end. I don't know. I feel like they shot themselves in the foot by they keep skipping digits. And the biggest thing, the most annoying thing, it's dumb, it's stupid and dumb. It's annoying and stupid and dumb. But the fact that they had to ape NVIDIA's naming convention is just so petty. Petty and childish and stupid and dumb. They had a good thing going. 7000 series was rad. Okay? And then just like 9070 XT. Ooh, hoo, hoo. What are you? 9 years old? What's wrong with you? Ugh. I'm sorry, Coconut. My bad. This is foam. It's fine. I'm fine. they make me so mad, but they do some cool stuff. Literally, that right there, that what I just said, literally every PC hardware company, okay? They make me so mad, but they do some cool stuff, is literally every PC hardware company. What's up, Tim? Tim Parker in the house. What's up, dude? How you doing, bud? Ray, maybe stand up, get the blood flowing. How are your arms feeling? Arms are feeling fine. My arms are good. Just a little pain in my back. I had a while back, had a ruptured disc between L4 and L5. It gives me problems sometimes. I'm all good. I hated how AMD changed the naming of their video card. Yeah, that's the whole rage I just had going on. Yes. Well, Jay just talked about this, and it seems like 5000 series were already on the verge of 5070 Super. Yeah, no, that's actually where I got that news as well. I don't really follow leaks, but when Jay thinks a leak is worth talking about, I'll watch that. But Tim, I know I probably say this. I've probably said this last time you were in here. I do, brother, I miss you too, man. Absolutely. We did not get to hang out at Computex nearly enough. There you go. Computex was goof. That's what I'm talking about. Same brain. But no, every time you come in, I'm like, I need to talk to Tim about TwitchCon and make sure we're good on that. Because when I hang out, like when the one time we hung out at TwitchCon, I was exhausted from that day, and like my chronic fatigue was like, hey, hi, remember me? So I was able to be at that hookah lounge with you for like, I don't know, an hour and a half or so, and then I was just like, Computex was good. I thought you meant it was goof. Like we didn't get to hang out enough, because that's how I felt about it. But it was good. It was good. It's just, I don't know. Like I always see people for like 5 minutes, and I want like to chill for a few hours. Just chill, hang out, talk at least. Can you look over our prices and parts on our pre-builds and tell me your opinion? That I'm probably Onion Garden. I'm probably gonna take some more time to do that off stream, or if we get on a conversation to talk about that. And again, this is just something I want to do. It's not a paid consultation or anything like that. But I've done it for multiple SIs. It just puts you on an even playing field in terms of my opinion on what pre-built companies should do. Good times. Yeah, we're good for TwitchCon, bro. Hell yeah. I don't know. I want to do some kind of stream or something at some point. That'd be pretty fun. Yeah, but that, like, that's going to help me out too. I appreciate that. Like, it's going to be chill. It's going to be a good time. John, so I got to get to bed. I always love hanging out with everyone. Glad to have you here. I can't believe I smacked myself in the face with my wrist rest. I don't plan this stuff out. That was a legit moment of rage. Like, I know that the people at AMD, a lot of them are super smart. When it comes to naming products, they don't pick those people to do it. They pick somebody else who's like over in the corner chewing on the lapels of their shirt. Hey, what do we name this? What does NVIDIA name them? It's Digit 9070 XT. Let's go, buddy. All right, good job. Way to go. Go back in your corner. A rage moment. Yes, I did. You have smart engineers that make dumb names. Engineers should never name stuff, okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, engineers. Like, your lane is so important. What you do is so important. That lane that you're in, stay in it. It's a virus that started with monitor naming conventions and spread. AMD marketing people need to get their act together. They need to get an act. They did get flack for the 7900 XTX2, though. Too many X's. Well, that was just a bad launch. They launched two cards, $100 away from each other, both near $1,000, right? $1,000 and $900. And then they just add an X to it. But Tim, what have you got going on, dude? What you working on? Saw some that Noctua build, by the way, that you had up on Instagram. Chef's kiss, man. That thing is so sick. Y'all need to follow PC Works on Instagram. 100%. If you like computers, which is probably why you're here. Especially amazing custom PCs. I don't know how many people are in here. I don't know how helpful that is, but like I'm not even trying to help Tim. I'm trying to help y'all. Tim doesn't need my help. He's got a great thing going. I'm trying to help y'all find awesome stuff. TI Super Titan XTX GT Super. Another super in there. One super, not super enough. Thank you so much. I'm working a ton on the website tomorrow. Please be safe and enjoy yourself. I'm going to bed. All right. OGC. Come hang out whenever. The rants, they are frequent, and I hope you're okay with that. And I imagine that you share some of that emotion. So yeah, absolutely. Doing a project with Titan Rig right now. Sick. Keeping an eye out. I'm going to keep an eye on that. Why am I still zoomed in? There we go. I still haven't fixed this. Zelda fans, I'm sorry. But yeah, I'll get it fixed. I love PCs, but I don't like Instagram. It sucks up so much time. True. The light in this frame, the LED frame, is not lit up. So our princess here is not lit up like Link is over there. Yeah. Absolutely. All you're awesome, dude. We will definitely come back after a small website overhaul. That's a good idea. Do some of that stuff, and then let's do a call. TJ Val, what's up? Is it worth it to just buy pre-built or just get parts from PC Part Picker and just have a local Micro Center build it for me? TJ Val, if you're going to have Micro Center build it for you, get most of your parts from Micro Center. Do it that way. They have a configurator on there. But if you want to, if you want, it's different. It depends. If you have a local Micro Center, that's a good way to go. Because if you have any issues or any parts or DOA or whatever, you just drive it back to them and be like, hey, why this, right? Instead of subjecting your PC to the rigors of the shipping industry. Now, on the other hand, you can often get pretty good pricing on stuff from high volume sellers, system integrators, because you get great pricing and bundles from Micro Center, but then they tack on a $250 build fee. It is $250 because they do it same day if you submit the purchase early enough. I ship stuff that can take a beating for a living, and it still gets broken sometimes. Binary theory, yeah. It is wild what can happen to PCs in shipping. And I mean, it's normal, I guess. It is normal, but that's why I urge anyone shipping a PC, I urge you, put an extra box around the outside. It is an investment, yes, but the PC inside of it is more of an investment kind of investment. So just going to my local Micro Center in Chicago and building one myself there would be best. I mean, yeah, if you want to, TJJ Val. I mean, if you want to build it yourself, they actually, I think, will help you with that. I think for free. But if you want them to build it and then warranty it, that also, by the way, the warranty starts at, I think, about, depending on the price of the PC, it's like around $250 for the warranty. $500 before you've bought a single part is wild. They used to have a $150 version of the build fee if you're using an air cooler, and they would add $100 if you got an all-in-one liquid cooler. It's now $250, even if it's a $700 PC with an air cooler. $250. So, what I can do TJ, if I may say TJ. Not trying to make other TJ's ears burn or anything. I've let my PC from 2020, but I'm looking to get a new one. Don't really want to go down the pre-built road again. Well, anything that you don't build, TJ, to be clear, and this is semantics, but it's correct. If you don't build it, even if it's custom built for you, that is technically pre-built. So I would say you just don't want to go with like you want to go with a more custom pre-built. Totally fine. What I can do, sorry, I don't, oh wait, I guess I do have that working. When did I get that working? Jakey, try some more of those, if you would. I guess I don't know. I guess Meld figured it out. Good. Okay. What I can do is I can put together the parts list for you, and then you just have a link to it, or and then you just save the build, and then you just go get it. All you got to do is fill out the form. But we are coming to the end of the stream now, so fill out the form now, and I can help you out on Thursday, day after tomorrow. Peter, thank you very much. That link right there takes you to the form. It's going to ask you some questions that you should always ask yourself anyway when investing in a PC. And on Thursday, come back in at around 8 p.m. or whenever, 8 p.m. Central to midnight Central is when I stream these, and we'll help you out. We'll get your build done. Don't come at the end of the stream, though. But it's okay. The second box and packaging can save you time in customer support, and it can save your box, your PC box, from people seeing, oh, that looks like a gaming computer. I'm going to steal that or tamper with it. Because usually they get shipped in the case they were built in or whatever, and it's very clear that there's a PC in there. Yep, we do double thick outer cardboard boxes with a 2-inch layer of packaging between that and the inner box on all sides. But sometimes the turbulence is still too much. Yeah. So you have to have internal packaging in the PC, or ship the GPU separate or within the box, but like in its own box. That's the heaviest thing, and it's only connected by the PCIe slot and a couple screws. And that some board vendors were allowing too much power to be used by 13 and 14 gen. What is this a continuation of? Oh, the hobby seems like it's gotten expensive. That way I bought my pre-built last year, and right after I bought it is when the big controversy about Raptor Lake dropped. Right. And it was funny because I was just coming off an older 3900X. Kaiser Platypus, what's up? Thanks for your videos. My mom's going to get me a pre-built for my birthday, and your videos will help me set it up. Oh, so you watch the how to set up your new gaming PC. It's one of my favorite videos. I love that video because it's helped, I think at this point, over 250,000 people. Wow. Like, that is crazy to think about. What is it at now? I got to check. Hold on. It's like 230,000. 246,000 people have watched that video and hopefully gotten help in setting up their PC. This is why I want to make more evergreen content, guys. I'm like, I want to rush into it, but I'm going to do this the right way. Pre-built, rebuilt is going to be so sick. It's going to be so awesome. I don't look at 246K views and be like, look at how great I am. I'm like, I'm so glad that I put in the hours of labor for that, because it's helping a lot of people. That feels super good. But Kaiser Platypus, I wish you the best of luck with your new PC and a happy early birthday. Let us know what you're getting when you get it. Come back to the stream. Let us know how that went. All right? Tuesdays, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Central. And on Twitch, of course, I have my Sunday streams where I just do gaming on those. It's not, I mean, I still talk PCs now and then, but those are just gaming streams. Those who are here for those, you can chime in and say how chill and awesome it is. Because I feel like most people are like, oh, he's not talking about computers. I'm good. No, you're not good. You're missing out. Probably. Maybe. I just hope you all have, you know, I mean, if you're having a good Sunday, I ain't going to be mad at that. I'm glad we got to help somebody with an Alexander PC here today, because it's been a while since I've been able to do that. Everybody's been getting Micro Center. Like, that feels weird, but it's what it's been. Let's see. Wait. No. Ah! I did it. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know this if you weren't here. But on the Sunday stream, I rated a buddy of mine, Has Agent, okay, who was playing Binding of Isaac. Great game. But I don't know how I convinced him, but I convinced him to play a Super Metroid Zelda 3 or SMZ 3 or Super Metroid Link to the Past combo randomizer. I think he might be he's playing Super Metroid right now. I just rated him though. And I like to spread that out. I like to raid different people every time. But like, man, I want to support this. We just need more micro centers. Absolutely. They are fun. The gameplay is chill. Thank you, Peter. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And no, I wasn't trying to catch y'all with this, but I just did. Yeah, I gotta pull and I know I've rated Manly a few times in a row, so it's all good. But that's like, you know, a budding bromance. So of course I'm gonna rate him whenever he's around. But anyways, I'm sure he would love that I described it that way. It's on brand for him. Okay, so please come with me for this. I've lost 3. See, here's the thing: 3 people have left since I mentioned rating somebody. This is, if you're ever like, yo, Bray, thanks for what you do. What I ask is that you do the free follow on Twitch, the free subscribe on YouTube, and come with me when I raid another channel on Twitch, because that makes me happy to do. So we're going to be doing that. And fair warning, I tend to not curse in my streams. I don't know why I hold myself to that arbitrary standard, but I just don't. But other people don't have that same standard. If that's something that you're if you're something that you're sensitive to or annoyed by, just hang out long enough to say hi, and then it's fine. We need a PNW Pacific Northwest Micro Center very badly. I mean, I'm surprised that like Seattle really needs one. I'll say that. Yeah, Seattle needs one badly. Don't know why they don't have one already. Okay, but we are. Oh, he's moving too. He was so awkward and moving around Super Metroid before, but he's already starting to believe. Okay, I'm gonna stop hinting at this. We're gonna go ahead and go over there. God, more people to leave. Stop. Just I don't ask you for anything but this. Come on, stick with me. This is one of my favorite games, and this is a buddy of mine. So we're gonna encourage. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate y'all very much. Thank you. We're going to be back on Thursday with more PC matchmaking, and I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. Until then, take care.
Let's go, nerds!